Yo, what's going on, guys? James is in the house. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, go ahead and lock me in with a one. Lock me in with a number one for fun, because we're going to have a good time talking about this foolishness that we had the opportunity to see tonight. We'll just plug some stuff up. All right. Don't see any ones yet. Okay, I see some ones. We got some ones coming in. Ones coming in hot. All right, folks. Oh, I got to move over a little bit. All right, so tonight's show brought to you by Tylenol. Because you will leave this mother with a headache. All right. It was not a good look. It wasn't a good look. I didn't feel like excited about watching Kody in the cahoots tonight, because it was just crazy. uh yeah. Because Sharon said that Kody is freaking me out about the things that happened to him when he was 6. First, it was Sophia Loren and Man from La Mancha, and now it's Sonny and Cher's divorce. He's been a freak all his life. Yeah, I got something to say about that. Like, it just killed me. Hey, Teresa Skinner, what's going on? Yeah, this show was a little bit, in some respects, it was a little dry. I'm not gonna bullshit. Like, it was a little dry. But in other respects, I gotta tell you, like, I was working on this video I wanted to do last week. I caught up with a whole bunch of other foolishness, but like, I think watching Kody and watching Meri is clearly winning. She's clearly winning the arms race with Kody. She's clearly winning the image rehabilitation tour. Okay, she's taking the lead. Like, Meri is doing what she needs to do in order for her to adjust and remedy a lot of the problems or ill feelings that the fan base may have towards her. In my case, like, I'll be straight up honest. Like, Meri, hands down, probably was not one of my favorite sister wives, but I'm growing to like Meri. I'm like, okay, Meri, I see you. I see what you're doing, Meri. you know, I think part of the challenge that when we think about Meri, you know, I think that she fell into the pangs of the institution for which she ascribed, and therefore she's just as bad. Like, she's just as much a victim as Christine and Janelle, just in a different way. Like, she was taken advantage of by the system that she had adopted, like the whole polygamy thing. And once she got involved with that, like, I don't think that marriage or that system did her any favors. And a lot of the disagreements that I think she had towards Christine and Janelle were merely act outs from her being involved with this untenable situation. Okay, like, this relationship just doesn't work for her. It just didn't work for her. She was in love with Kody. I firmly believe that. Like, I believe that Meri truly, to the bottom of her heart, loved Kody. Okay, full stop. She didn't marry Kody with anticipation of, like, oh, I can't wait to share you with a bunch of other people and have a bunch of kids with a bunch of other women. Like, I don't think that was her main objective. Like, I think that, when you get into the conversation of it, a lot of people will agree to do stuff that they don't necessarily believe in because they're not doing it. Like, they're, oh yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of fun. And then you actually ask them to do it, they actually start doing it, and they realize what's actually involved, and they realize that it's not as much fun as it sounded like. Like, the practice of it, the theory of it sounded cool. It sounded like a good time. But when you get in there and you really about to do it, you're like, you know what? This ain't for me. And I think that's kind of where Meri was. Like, I'm not saying that she didn't like the sister wife and she never enjoyed polygamy, because I think that people can enjoy stuff and then not enjoy it at the same time. Like, I think there's aspects of it that she didn't like. Like, I don't think she enjoyed sharing her husband. I don't think that blew her skirt up. Like, I don't think she was like, "Yay, I get another wife in the house and I get to spend less time with the man that I'm in love with." So I think there's that. Again, Mary's get for me. Mary's getting kind of a second look. Okay, I think that some of the things that she may have done, with regard to the other people, these people are grown. I understand that Christine doesn't necessarily care for her. Her kids don't necessarily care for her. That's fine, because if you do something to somebody, it's up to that person to forgive you or decide whether they want to continue that relationship or not. So I'm not faulting Christine. Like, they don't have to be friends because it'd be convenient for the show. Okay, if they don't get along or they don't have any desire to hang out with each other, they shouldn't hang out with each other. Isn't that part of the problem, like, that we're dealing with and we're seeing now? Is that you have, according to Kody, he didn't enjoy being with Christine, Janelle, or Meri, but he spent an inordinate amount of time, years and decades, with these women that he didn't want to be around just because it would be convenient or it made sense for the institution of the relationships that he was in. With Janelle, Meri, Christine, they've spent enough time trying to, fit round pegs into square holes. Like, if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't work, move on. Stop trying to force relationships. I think that's most of the problem, is that these folks are spending too much time trying to force relationships that aren't there. So if Christine doesn't want to hang out with Meri, it is what it is. But Meri, I think, is in a position where she can go on and she can find her happiness and she can be herself. Like, I think that this season is Meri's season. Like, I think this is going to be Meri's hero season. I'm going to be honest with you. And I got a video coming out. I've been working on it. So I might have a video. I was trying to drop it tomorrow morning before I do the live tomorrow with Sarah, but it is what it is. It might not come out tomorrow, but it'll definitely be up Tuesday. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to say about this episode. All right. Vixen, what's going on? Speaking of which, okay. I didn't see what Flying Chunkla said. But yeah, so we have some things to cover. Before I get too far into it, we will be doing the opening up the phone lines tonight because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you guys had the opportunity to see my video that I posted earlier, if you want to comment on that, you are more than welcome. I talked about, for those who may or may not know, it came out, or at least it was reported from several outlets, that Meri, or not Meri, okay, I'm thinking about Meri on my mind, that Kody and Robin have went forward and purchased a $2.1 million home. And that, for some folks, is like a big to do about it, because there is a domestic injunction which prohibits, or at least it implies that there's a prohibition on the transfer, sale, or purchase of property while this is being decided. So Kody had went ahead and did it. There's some speculation that he may be in trouble. I've taken a position that he probably isn't in trouble. But you can check that video out. If you've seen the video and you want to comment on some of the remarks I made during the course of that video, the floor is yours. We can talk about it. I have to go in and get the link so that I can get ready to post that up. So that if you guys want to jump in, you could jump in. Let me copy that in and I'll put that down, child. So when I'm ready, I can post it. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. So let's take a look. All right. So let me run through some of this craziness. Then we're going to open the floor up because I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. One of the first things, there is a point where I'm looking at this, and the first scene is Kody pulling into, or actually, it's Meri talking to her brother-in-law Nathan and her sister. Nathan, as it turns out, is Kody's best friend. This is the guy who's made a couple appearances on the show, specifically from last season. He was the guy that Kody would vent to and talk about how difficult it is to get divorced. Nathan also went through divorce. So you can see a lot of trauma bonding between Kody and Nathan because both of them are divorced people. Their second wives or whatever, additional wives, both of them left them. So it's weird listening to Nathan talk about things with Meri and ask questions to Meri about like why do you need to let the furniture you bought together go? Like what are you talking about? Why don't you want to keep the furniture that the two of you purchased together? Why don't you just keep that around and keep sitting on it? As you try to move on with your life, why don't you have the things from your previous relationship to constantly remind you of your previous relationship? It's almost like you don't want to remember. Like, what the shit? Like, who are what? And this guy is supposed to be some kind of a preacher man, counseling Kody, and I see where Cody's making mistakes. Like sometimes it's the advice you get that that leads you astray. Um, oh, is this since you didn't know? Since you didn't know, that's cool. I think he bought the house because he can't let Christine have a better house than he and Robin have. That's possible. Trying to step it up. But so I thought that whole exchange was funny. Meri talks about the legal divorce to benefit Robin and the kids. Like I think that's interesting because every time I hear her say it, like every once in a while, talking about the marriage, the divorce, then the legal marriage to Robin, the adoption, the catfish. When we talk about these things, every time Meri says it, I'm like, she gets a little bit closer to where I am with this whole thing. Like she gets a little bit closer. I'm like, Meri, you're almost there, girl. Keep them. Come on, you can do it. Because when she talks about the marriage, first things first, in Las Vegas, Kody didn't have to marry Robin in order to adopt her kids. Once her ex-husband gave up his rights to the children, if Kody decided at that point he wanted to adopt those kids, a court would have let him adopt those kids. He didn't have to get divorced. Like it wasn't a requirement. Like it might have made it easier. The only thing that I could think of that where it would be like some type of practice, legal practice, is in realm of the explanation. Like the fact that him and Robin are married, it alleviates a lot of the explanation as to why Kody feels comfortable enough to adopt children of a woman that he's dating. So maybe that, but even that doesn't make sense. So I don't think that it was required necessarily for Meri to divorce Kody. Now, the thing that I want Meri to pick up on, and I might have to do a video about this to get really into it. But the thing that I really want Meri to kind of bridge to is Meri. He has been saying, especially in this season, that Robin has been his soulmate. This season, in the last episode, he went as far as to say, I didn't realize I was in bad relationships until I got into a good one. He didn't realize that he was in bad relationships, including his marriage to Meri, until he met and was involved with Robin. And then it just so happened that he needed to divorce Meri so that he could marry the one person whom he thinks he has a positive relationship with. He wants to marry the one person who is actually a real relationship where he's really happy, not fake pretend, doing his duty happy with you three ladies, a relationship where he's really happy. And it just so happens that you needed to divorce him. That's the final step that I want Meri to take. That final turn that last corner with me, Meri. I'll hold your hand. We can do it together. You know what I mean? Come into the light. Welcome. This is the real world. You're out of the matrix, okay? Take the red pill. You're out of the matrix. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm I'm about to say Mephisto, but that's not his name. Morpheus. I feel like I'm Morpheus. Okay? I feel like I'm telling her, like, you're Neo, Meri. I'm Morpheus. I'm trying to tell you that you are in the damn matrix. What you're saying doesn't make sense. This isn't how it happens in the real world. So I'm happy for her from that respect, and I respect the fact of her journey, because some of this stuff is very hard. It's easy for me to say because my heart and my emotions, my self esteem, and everything isn't tied to it. My identity isn't tied to it. Hers is. So I can understand why it's taken her a little longer to see some of the things that some of us are seeing. But let me get. We have a super chat that came in. YouTube is my time machine. How you doing? YouTube is my time machine. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Hey James. So the fact that Kody put $420,000 on a new home means he was lying to Janelle about not being able to pay off Coyote Pass. Oh, YouTube is my time machine. You gonna mess around and tell the truth? You gonna get on my live and start dropping facts? The nerve of some people's children getting up here telling the dang on truth. How could you do this to us? YouTube is my time machine. The fact that he had $420,000 just sitting around and he could have put that money on Coyote Pass to help them pay off the property that they had promised to pay off in the first place, especially being as though he wanted to take 3/5 of the property, him and Robin together, that he could actually kick in some of the money to save the property so that they wouldn't lose their investment. But instead, Kody wants to sit there and play broke because he has to provide a place for his 2 kids, 2 minor kids, and 3 adult children to stay. He had to provide the shack, or the $2.1 million shack. He had to put $420,000 on that. Forget Coyote Pass. That's just land. And that's Meri and Janelle's money. Who gives a shit? He had to take care of his family. YouTube is my time machine. Is that what you're trying to tell the class? Is that the assignment that you are dropping on us? YouTube is my time machine. Excellent point, because that would be his part. And wouldn't it be nice that if you were actually going to take, like I said, 3/5 of the land, did you actually put in some money? I mean, call me crazy. Call me crazy. If you go out to dinner with your friends and you're sitting there and you guys order your food, you order your drinks, you get it, and then all of a sudden the bill comes, you look at the bill and you realize that 3/5 of the bill is from this one friend. And when you say, okay, well, we're gonna start breaking down the money, they look and say, oh, you know what? I ain't even get paid today. If you ain't got the money, why did your ass come out? If you broke, why did you show up? Or you should have let us know when we picked you up or when we met here that you didn't have any money so we could make decisions. And if that's the case and you are relying on us to pay for it, maybe don't order the whole left side of the menu. Okay? Maybe tonight is like, can I get some water with lemon, please? Maybe it's one of those nights. Not that we need to start popping the crystal. Like, tonight might be a water lemon night. Tonight might be, oh, can you bring some more of that free bread by, please? I would like some butter. He said there, order like some type of chicken or whatever, so you can start making sandwiches. Like, are you crazy? You don't go there and start, oh, I like some filet mignon and I like the lobster, please. The lobsters are fresh. They're $60. Oh, yes, please. I need the lobster thermidor for sure. I like the $100 aged steak, please. Get the shit out of here. But thank you so much. YouTube is my time machine. Excellent point. You know, the fact that he kicked in that kind of money and you still owe money, this is that look. I don't know about y'all. There's an old saying. Look, I'm story time. There's an old saying. I just want to say this real quick, and we'll get back to the episode. But there is a point where I always heard that when it comes to money, don't involve your friends and family in any business ventures because money will split your friendships and your relationships up like cheap china. Like it will bust your stuff up. Okay. And part of the reason why is because it's so hard to lend somebody some money or invest in something with somebody, and you know that they're coming up short or they're lacking in their part of the investment. And then every time you show up or they turn up or you go out somewhere, they always got something new. They always ordering some extra stuff. It doesn't seem like they trying to save any money, and it damn sure don't seem like they trying to get you your money back. This is why, and this is so smart. This is so smart. This is why I've always heard and I always learned that if somebody asks you for a loan, friend or family, you may call it a loan. You could call it whatever you want. But in your mind, when you give them that money, make sure it's money that you can afford to give them. You're not loan in your mind. They might call it a loan, and if they give it back to you, awesome. If they don't, it's okay because in your mind, you know that you gave that money to them. That okay, here you go. Here's the money, and if they give it back to you, great. If they don't, all right, I just know for next time. But please, oh, please, oh, please be very careful about lending out money that you yourself need. Like, don't lend people your rent money, your mortgage money, your gas money, your electric money, your kids' school money, tuition money. Oh, I got this going on. I need a little bit of help. And you give them that money, and then all of a sudden, you don't know. Every time you see them, they got on a new pair of shoes. Okay, it's going to create a problem. It's going to create a problem. So that's what I say. Like, with Janelle and them, they got the old term back in the day was they got ganked. Okay, they getting ganked because this is ridiculous. Like, man, people show up. People show up. I know people will pull up to your house for $50. They'll pull up to your house for $50. 420,000. There might be some shovels involved. I'm just saying, like $420,000. You can in some places you could buy a nice house for 420,000. I mean, obviously not New York or California, or maybe Miami. Clearly not there. But anywhere in the Midwest, the middle of like mid country, oh shit, you will have a house with land around it for 420,000. Clear out the door money. House money. Drop off the keys, put the deed in your name, no loans money. Okay? 420, and that's his deposit. Oh yeah, Kody might, he get visited. But thank you so much. YouTube is my time machine. Appreciate you. It's good seeing you. Good seeing you. Let me give you a little something. Excellent point though. I'm gonna have to give you the bravo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little lost in the sauce. YouTube dropping some truth bombs up in there, though. I had to respond to that. That was crazy. 420, and you still owe Coyote Pass money? Oh, I know Janelle paid off, and I know somebody probably put that in there. That Janelle paid off during the summer, but let's be real. If Kody his name appears on anything, when Janelle paid that off, his name should have got dropped off the plots of land that she paid off. Any money that she put up to make sure that she saved Coyote Pass, you deduct what they've contributed. And I'm including like the McMansion. I'm gonna go off on it a little bit. I'm sorry. I said I was coming off of it, but I'm getting right back on. I'm riding it like a bike, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm riding this like a bike. I would have looked at it like, look, we have you think it's two puddles of monies. Do you have these monies? You think it's two puddles of money, but it's actually one big pond, one swampy ass pond. of money. You give me the Coyote Pass land, the money for the Coyote Pass, those properties, and the McMansion. Once you've cleared the loan that I gave you so that you could get your ass in the McMansion, then we start talking about Coyote Pass and what you own on Coyote Pass. But if you don't give me my money, you don't give me my Mickey Ficky money for the McMansion, then you don't own jack shit on Coyote Pass. You own nada, nothing, zero, zilch. Forget about it. It's done. Finito. It's over. You don't own anything on Coyote Pass. In fact, I don't even want to see you drive past Coyote Pass. Don't even drive by it. All the bikes and trailers and crap you have out there, get your shit off my property. Okay, until you come up with some monies, I need you to come get your stuff. Okay, and I'm talking about ones and zeros. I'm talking about fold up money. I'm not talking about no chump change. No, do something strange for a little change. I'm talking about paper. Okay, I'm talking about fold up paper money that I can put in my pocket or put on a bill. Forget that. Like, no, we're not doing that. Not today. I'm sorry. I feel a certain kind of way, especially when it comes to these investments, these real estates, and how he's financially taking advantage of these women. And I want to do a video on that. Guys, I got so many videos I want to do. I got to get these videos up. But I'm telling you, Dr. Carl explains it all. What's going on? What's going on, Dr. Carl? I haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, we have to work that. We'd have to work that money out. we be working that shit out like a push-up jack. I'm telling you, there's no way in the world we doing jumping jacks. Exercise these demons. We're gonna be out there doing some jumping jacks. There's no way in the world. Katrina Morgan, $2 super chat said Kody Pass. That's right, the Kody Pass. Because it's his damn idea. Like, that's what pisses me off the most about it. Like, he entices them to come out there because he's like, oh, I got this beautiful land. We're going to get out there and look at this beautiful land. They get out there by his volition. Like, he starts the thing. He starts it. They make it happen by kicking the money in. But because it's their money, he doesn't care that it doesn't, like, they don't finish. As soon as it starts getting hard, it starts getting difficult, and things ain't falling into place like he thought they would because he didn't do any research on it. Now all of a sudden, oh, well, I'm not really interested. I don't care about Coyote Pass. If we lose it, we lose it. Yeah, he don't care about losing it because it's Christine, or it's well, technically it was Christine, Janelle, and Meri's money that went to Coyote Pass. And all he did was just say, okay, well, I'm going to essentially do what he did, the reverse of what I've been saying this whole time. He did the reverse of what I've been saying this whole time. He's looking at it like, okay, the money you guys gave me for the McMansion, I'm just going to consider that Coyote Pass money. And then I'm going to take the money, any money that I might have muddled towards the mansion or Coyote Pass, I'm going to take all my money out of there. Me and Robin are going to keep the McMansion, and you guys can keep Coyote Pass. But Coyote Pass isn't paid for yet. So if you lose Coyote Pass, you guys lost Coyote Pass. You guys lost your money. And I think that's how he's seeing it. So if that's how we're doing it, that's how we're doing it. I get Coyote Pass. You guys take your name off the documents. I pay Coyote Pass off. And from that point, Meri and Janelle get to decide whether they want to sell it, keep it, try to develop it, which is not going to happen. That's a whole ton of money, or whatever they're going to do, and be done with it. But yeah, let me give you a little something, Katrina. A little something. All right, a little dance off. But I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Who's it? What's this? James, have you seen Benjamin Brown's reaction to 1 and 2, where he talks about what a soulmate in the AUB theology? Totally changed my view of Robin in the first season. She came in swinging. No, I haven't seen it. I'll check it out, though. Thank you for the heads up. What's this? Dr. Carl explains it all. Yes, James, exactly. Whatever he can say to escape past responsibility on his part. Dr. Carl in the house. Oh, there's Lizzie B. What's going on, Lizzie B? I'm sorry. Hey, Lizzie, Becky, I'll get to you in a second, Becky. But Lizzie B in the house. Remember to give James that HBO special. Help a brother out special. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Uh yeah, you know, face red, smiling live. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. What is this? Every time I hear the coyotes in the woods at night, I think of Kody and Robin. Shudder. I never liked to hear them before, but now, Coyote Pass. Yeah, right. That Cody Pass. Them coyotes up there is sick though. They got that mange. You don't mess with them. You get bit by them bad boys, you might turn into a zombie or something. I don't know. But yeah, so y'all, yeah, YouTube is my time machine. This is your fault. You got me distracted to dropping them troop bombs. I got fallout. I got a little fallout on me. Cause that yeah, cause I had to go in on that. That was crazy. Like 420 for that. But then you gonna look me in the face and tell me you don't have no money? Like this dude, he, he let lie to my face. Yeah. Dr. Carl explains it all. James, did you see Kody call Janelle a victim? Imagine how many vulnerabilities of each wife he had to try to remember to be able to manipulate them all. What a headache. Yeah. The craziest part about it, to Dr. Carl's point, excellent point. I did see that. That's that's gonna be next week. Yeah, the shoe got a card that says victim on it. I'm like, but you the only one crying, dude. Like you the one crying, talking about it's not fair to you. Everybody else moved on. You the only one still crying. So how's she playing the victim? I don't know. Figure it out. But yeah, the funniest thing about that, Dr. Carl, is that it always amuses me. And this is like the thing with liars. Like it's so much for you to remember the lies that you told. It's so easy to just tell the damn truth. Because if you tell the truth, you only have to remember one story. If you tell a lie, you got to remember the lie that you told. You got to remember the additional lies that you told to cover the lie that you told to this one and that one, and then the different lies that you told to each person that may not be commiserate or the same with each other. It's too much dang gonna work. This is like lazy people who half-ass do jobs only to have to go back and do the job again 3 or 4 times, which creates so much more work. It's so easy to just do the thing right the first time. The first time you do it right the first time. Measure twice, cut once. That whole thing. I usually measure 3, 4 times because I don't like wasting money or time. Right. And as my one friend said in college, time is money and money is everything. Weirdo dude, but I don't like wasting a whole lot of time doing stuff 3 or 4 times. I like to do it right the first time, get it out the way. That way it's done. Same thing. Like it just it's so much work for you to be lazy. Being lazy is a lot of work. Being a liar is a lot of work. Manipulating people instead of trying to have and maintain proper relationships is so much work. It's easy, short time on that short end, but the long end is so much harder. And it's so ridiculous for you to put yourself through that. Like that's how you wind up, giving yourself all kinds of health problems, you know, and aging yourself because you're trying to remember all the bull crap you done told these people and all the manipulation lies and stories and things that you told them. And then like even with the triangulation, to Dr. Carl's point, the triangulation that Kody uses where he tries to get one person mad at another person, or he says like I have a problem with Meri, so I talk to Meri and I blame, get to talking about Janelle and get her mad at Janelle, and the two of us are against Janelle. Rah, 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 rah. But then I got to remember that Janelle doesn't know that Meri is now mad at her So when she finds that out, I have to be able to tell another story. And then I have to work to try to, above everything else, I have to work to try to keep them separate because I can never have them in a conversation with one another so that they discover that I am the source of the problem. It's just so much work. It's so much work. And it's so ridiculous that I just don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. Um, let's see. So when we were talking about the thing, and I'm about to, oh, I gotta jump on to the get you guys hooked up. But just to round it out, Meri talks about the legal divorce. I said that like she's getting to that point where she's about to hit that gold mine where she's going to start realizing that Kody has been jacking her around the whole time. Um, and she said that Kody had lost some sort of power. Kody had said to her that by getting the divorce, he blames her for her attitude, I guess, because she feels like she lost some kind of power because she had to give up her status as the legal wife. And in fairness, I think that that has some validity. Like, I don't think that that's the reason why the relationship was falling apart. I think the relationships fell apart because Kody genuinely was in love with Robin. He preferred Robin. He acted like it. He thinks he was fooling them, but he wasn't fooling them. They knew that he loved and preferred to be with Robin. So it wasn't a trick. So when he came out and said that he wanted to divorce Meri and marry Robin, it wasn't like they were like, oh my gosh, you have fooled us. You were so smart. So they knew what he was doing. And yeah, she was mad. But I think that part of that is that her entire relationship through the other two wives and everything else, from the time that she met and married Kody, she had always been the legal wife. That's who she was. And so you're stripping away a critical part of her identity when you take away the fact that she's the legal wife. If she holds on to knickknacks and she has like a sensitivity towards memorabilia, that kind of thing, then she's definitely going to hold on to relationships. And if she holds on to a couch for years and she holds on to pictures for years, she's definitely going to hold on to her marriage license. Okay. With the man that she's in love with. Yeah, she's going to be a little sentimental about that. And you took that away from her. So, yeah, she's going to act a little funky about it. That's not a shot at Meri. That's just the reality of the situation. And I think that that's where I think me and some of the folks who are really like Meri supporters, they kind of clash with me a little bit because they think that I'm coming down on Meri. No, I'm just calling it, I'm just calling it what it is. That's not a shot on her because anybody who got married, that paper, if the marriage meant something to you, then that paper meant something to you. And to sit there and say that, oh, we're gonna get divorced, but it doesn't mean anything, it does mean something. And that's important. And I think that that's part of the problem too in these types of relationships is that so much gets swept under the rug and so much gets ignored that it creates a problem later on down the line. That you tell her that, oh, well, it doesn't matter that we get divorced because that's just a piece of paper and the paper don't mean anything. But then at the same time, Robin is excited as hell that she's getting married and she's finally getting the paper. So if it doesn't matter, the paper doesn't matter, then why don't you marry Robin, adopt her kids, because that's what you say you have to do. And after you adopt her kids, why don't you divorce her ass? And none of us be married to nobody. Nobody is married to nobody. And we all spiritually aligned or whatever the hell it is. If it doesn't mean anything. But the truth of the matter is, it means something to every last one of you, and you recognize that it means something to every last one of you. So who you lying to? You're not lying to me because you're not fooling me. So you must be lying to yourself. I'm just saying. Katrina Morgan, $5 super chat. Do you ever wonder what the show's producers think after filming a Kody confessional? Like, are they holding back laughter or what? I think half the time they're either holding back laughter or they looking at each other like, what the shit? Like, what is he talking about? I don't know. Do you think he's okay? I don't know. Should we call somebody? I don't know. That's a conversation I think they have. or they would just go back and they probably like got him on watch, especially now because he's so angry and he's so like emotionally he's so all over the place. They probably just I can see them having conversations where they don't want to be alone with his ass. Like, do not leave me here by myself with this Joker. If he coming here with a bag, we leaving. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But thank you for the super chat, Katrina. I appreciate you. Get the dance moves. Get the dance moves. It's party time. It's party time. Do you think that's what they doing after he leaves? Like they're like, oh. He done saying some craziness. You know this gonna be a hit episode. He done lost his mind. Tina Cook said they probably on some get that pharmaceutical assistance. Xannies and other stuff to make sure they get through it. That's a tough job, man. If you have to, you sit there, you take you got medicine in your hand, so you can get through your work day, and you shaking it up like a pack of chiclets or whatever, and you just popping candy in your mouth, popping them like candy. That's a bad job. You need to find something else. Go grow, get a job at Tiger Farms over there with Janelle and them. Grow some flowers. You probably, you'll feel more refreshed. You'll be replenishing the earth. It'll be wonderful. Megan said they're doing a rock, paper, scissors to see who gets this fool. Yeah, right. Rock, paper, scissors. Shoot. Oh, damn. I don't know why you always go rock. There's a rockhead dude over there. I keep falling into the trap. Yeah, the one thing I'm just going to touch on a couple more things, and then we're gonna open up the floor so we can get everybody in. Or as many people as possible. Look, the one thing that I did want to talk about, actually, I'm just going to hit two more things, and then we're going to open up the floor. And if folks don't call in, we'll just go through some more of the stuff. But two things that I wanted to talk about was one, when Kody pulls up, right? So you have Meri's sitting there with her brother-in-law and sister, and they're having a whole conversation about the relationship falling apart. And, clearly Nate is going through some stuff. And the sister is there, and she's having a conversation with Meri. And they're having this conversation. And all of a sudden, Kody pulls up, right? Nate goes over to the car, and he's standing by the car door. This dude is standing by this other dude's car door. And he's waiting anxiously for Kody to pull up. He opens up Kody's car door, and they embrace one another. Meri's calling Kody's name the whole time. Kody, Kody, Kody. And Kody is ignoring the shit out of Meri. Like, he's trying to pretend like he don't hear nothing. Like, she's just a whisper in the trees. She's wind in the tree leaves, right? He's not even paying any attention to her. Then she's like trying, and the weird part is Meri is, and this is where it gets weird for me. Meri, in my perspective, was trying to act cute, right? She was trying to be cute. Kody, bump this dude, bump him. It was that kind of show. If I was speaking French, it wouldn't be bump him, right? But so she's calling him because she's trying to tell him that the whole driveway is basically ice. And he pulled the trailer way up. So they're going to have to try to walk the furniture out because that's what she's doing. She's giving her furniture that she had in her marriage, like in the first season when they moved to Vegas. I think it was like the second season when they all went out shopping in Vegas to get new furniture. They had this whole thing where they were going to get the new furniture. It's that furniture that she's given to her sister and Nate, her husband. And Kody came over to help his friend get Meri's furniture so he could put that furniture in his house. So it's not even like he was really there doing Meri a favor. He's doing his friend a favor. Meri's trying to tell him that the driveway is full of ice. Cody's trying to ignore her. She tells him like, yo, this ice, Kody, this ice or whatever. He ignores Meri. He hugs his buddy friend, the dude. Then he walks over, hugs Meri's sister. He walks by Meri like he don't even see her. You at my house. You will acknowledge me at my house. You're not going to ignore me. Like, I'm not saying you got to hug me. Don't put your hands on me. Especially if we exes. Don't put your hands on me. But what you're not going to do is show up in my house and ignore me and play me like I'm not a person and I don't exist. Okay, now you can do that at your house. But I'll be damned if you're going to do that at a place where I lay my head. So I will be acknowledged. I will not be ignored, as they say. And she tells him like the driveway is full of ice. He needs to back the damn trailer up so they don't have to walk that far. He has to see if I'll have to see it for myself. I want to see it for myself. Okay, fine. You can see all the ice from when you backed your ass up. You pulling up through ice. You busting through ice. I don't understand why you have to get out of your car and risk busting your ass in the driveway to realize that the whole thing is full of ice. Okay, fine. Then he convinces her, okay, yeah, we're going to have to get some shovels and or maybe I'll pull the trailer back. She was making suggestions, just pull the trailer back and so that way we don't have that far to walk. Well, I mean, we're going to have to get some shovels and no, just do like she told you. Back the damn trailer up so you don't have to walk over the ice. Because at that point, I'm going to tell you, James, me, myself, I'm speaking for me and how I do stuff. If you don't want to listen to me, I'm not risking myself for your dumbass ideas, especially if I don't like your ass. I already don't like you. We're not together no more. I don't have to put up with your stuff. What's not going to happen is I'm not going to be trying to walk my ass over some ice to give you something out of my house for you, and I'm going to break both my damn legs. And when I go to the hospital, Kody ass ain't coming to visit you. Both your legs going to be up in the stirrups in the hospital, and they're going to be feeding you Jello for some damn reason, And then, you ain't going to get a night of sleep in the hospital. They're going to come in there and wake you up every 5 seconds, wake your ass up to give you something to put you back to sleep. No, I'm not doing that. I got things to do. I'm not going to bust my ass out here trying to carry your furniture. Furniture that, okay, fine. You know what? If you don't want the furniture, I'll call the junk bros or whatever. They'll come out here. They'll give me a couple dollars and they'll haul that crap out of here. Or you could get on Facebook Marketplace. You moving out of the house anyway, get the people your address. Normally, if you're going to be there, just as a pro tip, if you live in a place, don't give people online your address and have a stranger show up to your place. Okay? Just my thing. But call up Marketplace, meet them at the parking lot. I don't even have people. If I took some stuff out on Marketplace, I didn't meet people at the house. If you meet me at like the supermarket or some public place, we can exchange it in the driveway in the parking lot, right? We'll do it like a kid exchange or some stuff. But that's how I would do it. Look, if I'm moving, I don't care. Put that crap up on a Facebook Marketplace, you probably make a couple dollars. Right? At least get some gas money together for when you move your stuff down to Parawan. But if you want to be a jerk, you can be a jerk on the sidewalk, bro. We don't got to talk for you to be a jerk to me. Okay? But he did that whole thing. Like I said, you can bust your ass out there on that sidewalk if you want to. I'm telling you how to do it. Hard. Like, you know what they used to say when I was a kid? Story time. When I was a kid, the old folks had a saying. Hard heads make a soft ass. Okay? A hard head make a soft ass every time. If you don't want to listen, you know what I mean? Some Mickey Ficky's got to try to ice skate uphill. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Ficky's always trying to ice skate uphill. If you want to come out here and bust your ass to try to prove what a man you are, I bet you'll be screaming like a you know what I mean? A chump ass dude when you hit that ground and you pull that full split. Oh! When you hit that full, like your legs be going ways that you ain't never seen your legs go before. I bet you be, all that manly man alpha male crap go right out the window. All you hear is ah. And that's that. But yeah, that was the first thing. So yeah, like the whole driveway debacle. Then there was something interesting, and I'm going to open it up for everybody. But there was something interesting that Meri has said. Meri and Janelle was talking about and reflecting on the fact that Kody has been taking a position that he doesn't love anybody. He hadn't loved people for a long time, and he don't have no feeling. He never loved them, and he didn't care about them, and he never been in love with them. He don't love them no more. Whatever the hell it is, right? And I've noticed that in these situations, a lot of the wives, well, I won't say a lot of the wives, Meri and Janelle, Christine, not so much, but Meri and Janelle are spending an inordinate amount of time trying to justify that Kody was in fact in love with them, that they did have this special relationship. They've come out and said that several times, like, oh, he was a different person back then. He really did care about us. And the relationships weren't as bad as he said they were. And they were pretty awesome and they were amazing. And he just doesn't remember. It doesn't matter what he remembers. Okay. Your relationship, from your perspective, even though it involves another person, is what you experienced it as. Your truth in that situation is your truth, your experience. It doesn't matter how he felt, it's how you felt. Meri was committed to him, she was in love with him, and she was happy. It doesn't matter whether he was happy or not. If he comes back, oh, I was never happy. Okay, fine, that's fine. You know, we've moved on. I need to come to terms with the fact that the person I was with no longer exists for me. The person who made me feel the way I felt at that time no longer makes me feel that way. And he says, well, I didn't feel it. That doesn't matter. You go on. This is also, for me, this is like the extension of when you have somebody who is a good person and they get with a crappy person, like they're a giving, generous, considerate person, and they get with somebody who's selfish, self-absorbed, and very stingy with their time, emotions, money, everything, finances, everything. They don't give to the other person at all. You don't change who you are because the person you were with was an ass. If Kody didn't love you, you loved him and you experienced that. At some point, you experienced a happy marriage. You experienced a happy relationship. Hold on to that and move from that point. But don't let him redefine your experiences. Those are your experiences. And so that's what I would say to Janelle and Meri. But let me drop this up chat. Let me drop this in the chat. Actually, I have to put it in this chat box. Here's the link. We're going to drop this in, let you guys come on up. And if you want to jump in, you can jump in when you want. Pin to the top. Okay. All right. So there we go. All right. So we are up. So I would only ask that for anybody who is calling in, I have a timer. I'm only able to give you about 5 minutes. And then I have to move to the next person because I want to try to give as many people an opportunity as possible. So we have that. But we are up and we are ready. So put in my headphones so I can hear folks. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Betty in the house.
Hey. How you? Hey, Harley. Hey. How you doing, sweetie pie?
Well, how's everything?
Oh, girl, couldn't shake it better with a stick.
And there you go.
Like this episode, the Sonny and Cher. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it has to be an unpaid intern that fed him that storyline. Because between 73 and 75, so much happened. Like they must think we're really like nothing but like the brains of a carrot. Because a teeny tiny little research would say between 73 and 75, Sonny and Cher didn't even rate a semicolon. I'm not saying nothing bad about them. I don't mean that.
Right.
But you had Arthur Ashe, first black African American to win the Wimbledon 1975.
Right.
Same year they got divorced. You had the remnants of Watergate. Oh my God.
Right.
So much going on those years. And he was 5 years old. You had NBC, CBS, and ABC, and maybe PBS if you were lucky.
Right.
What tabloid? I mean, like, that didn't even make the top 10.
Yeah, it
I mean,
wasn't
and I
new.
looked, but just because I'm nosy and I looked, I'm like, okay, let me just look and check my history.
Right,
So there was the Vietnam War ended.
right, right.
I went back and was like, holy shit. Oh, pardon my language,
No,
Lord.
you're fine.
But I mean, I went back to look just to say, wait a minute, Sonny and Cher, seriously. So son intern, probably unpaid, fed him the storyline, or else some drunk producer said, hey, here you go. We need something. When
Right,
he crashed
right,
the ship was probably Gilligan's Island, and he's skipper.
right.
But as like I was more interested in your earlier video today. I
Oh,
loved it.
oh, thank you.
Do not believe for a moment that Kody would spend a minute in jail, because when you look at the cost of prosecution as well,
Right, right,
when you
right.
look at the cost of prosecution for something that would really be deemed a minor offense, what would it cost the state to prosecute this man versus
Hmm.
the reward of prosecuting the man? Nothing.
Right,
And
right,
as much as it pains me to say, the women would almost be better just to walk away. And everybody wants to sue, and I understand that. And yes, it would be fair. But if you have a halfway decent attorney, are they billing one total sum, or are they billing bankable hours? Like us common folk could not afford that kind of attorney, I know. Or at least I couldn't. Because if you want a really 5-star attorney that's going to take this and run it home, you're looking at bankable hours.
right,
And those could probably run between 100 to $500 an hour.
right, right. Well, I'll give you
Uh,
a pause on the time, but just as a clarification, typically the way attorneys will work in these types of situations, this isn't, to your point, this isn't like what they call a contingency fee
right.
agreement where you have like a slip and fall car accident or whatever the case may be. For any type of domestic case, criminal cases especially, they want to get paid up front. so they
Oh, yeah.
so because if it goes wrong, nobody's paying them. I'm guilty. I give you nothing. But if you have like for domestic relations, a lot of divorce cases,
Never had
things
to
of
deal
that
with that,
nature.
thank God.
Yeah, they want what they typically will do is that it's kind of a both. So they figure out like a deposit that you would put down. So you would give them say $5,000 or $10,000,
Right.
and then they would bill you for the hours, paperwork, motions practice that they perform. So if they're running copies, they're filing documents, those kind of things. They're taking meetings, they're doing phone calls, consultations,
That's what I meant.
all that. Yeah, those are billable hours. And then once they hit a certain point in those billable hours, it'll draw you down from that 10,000 down to about $2,000, $3,000. Then they'll give you that phone call and say, "Hey, it's time to fill the tank because we ran through that money, and so now we got to fill the tank back up. You got to drop me another $5,000 or $10,000 so that I can keep it going." And
That's what
that's
I meant by that. But
yeah,
is the reward actually worth it? If in the end you walk away and he says, I can't pay you, and you get nothing. And I mean, which is what I'm sure he's banking on, is that they're
right,
going to say, you know what, this is not even worth it. Just walk away.
right,
And
right.
some points I can see where morale, as far as like the moral point, no, you want to stick it in there.
Hmm.
But at their age, because I'm a little over, but I mean, do I want to really keep? Would I really want? And same as the child support, where there people are saying, "Oh, they're going to get thousands." Not necessarily. I could
Mm,
easily see it being a case of getting 300-400 bucks a month, maybe
right.
a max of $500, which is not actually that much. Now, go for it, absolutely, but I don't think it's going to be this windfall.
No, no,
I really
unfortunately
don't.
not. Yeah, I agree with
And same as, and I guarantee you that Cody and Robin have probably moved money into a trust that would be put in the youngest children's name that you
you.
can't touch. You cannot touch those assets because they're in their name. Or at least I don't think you could. I mean, I'm not a legal person, but I've had friends, that have talked about it where, I mean, they were being underhanded and they moved things into a trust for their younger children so that that money couldn't be touched
Right, right,
because it is going, you can't touch it.
right,
And I would have more respect for Robin if she'd just come out and say, you know what, I played y'all, sucker.
right,
I
right.
don't mean I'd like her any. Wouldn't like her anymore, but I would absolutely respect her 100% more if she just came out and said, you know what, I played y'all, and I would have more respect to come up front and say it.
Right, right.
So
I'll
I'm
win. I'll win.
I mean, I'd much rather if you want to at least stab me in the front.
Right.
I'd
Right.
much rather somebody look me in the face and say, you know what, bitch, I played you. And be like, you right, you won, you got one up on me.
Right. Right.
Because when the show ends, do you think she's gonna stick around? No.
No, when the money dries up, she's going to. That's what it
Tessie
was.
Marie, hush. Sorry, my doggy.
No, that's okay. But
But you know,
thank
I
you.
mean, it's kind of like Bernie Madoff. He went, how many years did it take to bring him down? He went to federal prison, but Ruth Madoff still walked away. She walked away with between $1 and $2 million of
Right.
assets that were not hers, and she was
Right.
the bookkeeper. You can't tell me that woman didn't know. There ain't no way in hell.
Right. But they just think they couldn't link it to
We
her.
had $37 million. I don't know how we got it.
Right.
I only get up by 1 million. I'm so hurt.
Well, I'd be crying too if I went from 37 to 1. I'm gonna tell you. So I
Yeah,
understand.
but I mean, it could have been 37 million to you in jail too. So she still was able to walk away with assets.
Right.
Robin
Right.
will walk away with assets,
Oh yeah. 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 Because she'll
and
get
she's
her.
not going to be there to pick up his poo-poo diapers when he's in his 70s.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Be like, nurse, she going to throw his ass in the cheapest nursing home she can find.
Well, I don't think she's gonna be with him. So he'll
I
have
don't.
to do it for himself. Yeah, he'll have to figure it out for himself. But thank you so much for calling in.
Well,
I got to
thank you,
bounce.
darling. I did not mean to keep you on the phone so long tonight.
No, no worries. You did great. You did great. Always a pleasure talking to you. And
Well,
as
you too, but I
always,
still think you should be doing TED Talks because you reach people on a different level
oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
across
I
all
appreciate that.
sociological, you know, everything. Because I guarantee you, I'd pay to come see a TED Talk from you.
There you go. If they invite me, I'll come. Put it out there in the
Well,
universe.
you
You
need to
never
do
know.
it. We're going
Right?
to put it out into the universe.
He'll do it, won't he?
You have a wonderful night, sweetheart.
Thanks. You as well. You take it easy. Great
You too,
talking to you.
sweetie. You
All
too,
right.
sweetheart. Night,
Have a
night.
good one. Night, night. Awesomeness. All right. So we have Betty was just in the house. She makes a good point. Like when we start talking about like the lawsuits and stuff. Yeah, you know, it's just I think what drives so many folks with regard to the child custody thing, and then I'll get right to you, Rebecca. I think Betty's right. What drives so many of us towards like the idea of Christine getting something from Kody with regard to child custody or child support is just the justice of it. It's the sense of fairness. Like it just doesn't sit right for at least for me. Even when I was doing the video that I did today, and I was kind of debunking some of the things that they were saying about like Kody going to jail and it just doesn't sit right that he gets away with it, that Robin gets away with it, that they were able to come in and bust up this family, take advantage of these ladies financially, and then skate out the door, and nothing seems like it's happening to them. So I understand where folks are. But I'm going to give Rebecca the stage. Then we have Michelle, Christine, Cindy, Teresa Skinner in the house, and Neglet 3. All right, guys. We got Rebecca coming up. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing?
Hey, James, how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
All right, all right. You hit on so many things that I was thinking about. We must have been sharing the same brainwaves tonight watching the show because I know I was all over that with the icy walkway in front of Mary's.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, and I'm sure it has to do with, he's got to show off in front of Nathan because Nathan's one of those, whatever it is, that weird guy thing, the guy verse
Yeah,
thing,
manosphere, yeah.
whatever. Yeah. See, that's how much I know about that. I mean, whatever. Yeah. So he's all about that. And so he's got to show off and be the man. I'm going to ignore Meri. And, it was just, and I feel like Meri, her doing that, she probably already said that to her sister, like, watch this, Kody's going to be a total toolbox right now. He's going to be a total toolbox. Check out what he's going to ignore me. He's going to be a jerk, whatever. Because you could see they would like giggle back and forth with each other, like, yeah, he's an idiot. Watch. I know this guy, 32 years of him being an idiot, treating me badly. So that was hilarious to kind of to see her act like that, because she was trying to be cutesy but push buttons at the same time, and it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny to watch that.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just Kody he's something else to watch. I think every week because I'm waiting like it's going to be like a season finale or series finale of the show. There's going to be a couple of guys in white coats with a big butterfly net going after this guy because he is a whack job.
Yeah, he's losing his stuff. He's
I
unwinding.
mean, yeah, he is absolutely because you watch and it's kind of like that old movie and I'm not dating myself. There's no way I'm near as old as you probably think I am. I'm not. I'm like tail end of Gen X, like tail end of Gen X. But
Okay.
I was at late in life kid for my parents. So they were born in the 40s. My parents were born in the early 40s. So I'm a late in life child for them. But anyways, we watched an old movie called The Snake Pit and you're watching it and you're seeing this woman, she's in the psychiatric ward and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she doesn't deserve to be here. She's not crazy. She's not crazy. And then you kind of see it from both sides. You see it from her side and then you see it from the other side. And it's like, poor Olivia de Havilland. You think, oh my goodness, poor lady, poor lady. And then you're like, nope, she's crazy. She is an absolute nut job.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that. We're kind of watching this and we're thinking, oh, at first we thought, oh, he's a nice guy, Cody's a nice guy. No, we were seeing things from the way he wanted us to see this show.
Right.
We were seeing everything from his point of view and it's like, nope, you are a nut. And I mean, he proved it again by all of the stuff he says. I mean, he's just so it would be offensive to be married to these women. This would be so offensive. And it's like, you got kids with these people, with these
Right.
women. Can you not just say, have a nice life, good to see you, and give them a salute and off they go? Why do you have to be this way? It's really just rude. It's
Right.
so
Right.
rude to Meri doesn't like spearmint gum, whatever. And it's like he doesn't even kind of like take stock of himself and go, you know what I did here in this situation was I said, oh, I didn't really like Meri. I married her and I didn't really like her. But what did I do? And he admitted to it early on several seasons ago. We all remember that. He said, I watered down the marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Get another wife. We'll get Janelle in there. And then Janelle and Meri fought, and we all didn't get along, and we fought like cats and dogs. So then what do? Get me Christine to even it out. And it's like, you need to like work on something,
Right.
not just throw a few more. It's like those people who say, oh, my relationship with my boyfriend, my husband stinks. I'm going to have a baby. That's stupid. That's
Right.
stupid.
But we
Who
won't get
does that?
married. That'll make it better.
That's right. Yeah, let's have a kid with the guy that's a jerk and treats me bad. That'll make it better. No, it won't. That's stupid. That's a dumb thing to do.
Right. Right.
And then, I know everybody's cracking me up in the chat because there's like a couple of people that keep saying that, but Sonny and Cher got divorced, whatever. They're being hilarious in there. But I got to tell you, and once again, I'm not 1,000. I just had old parents. I grew up with old parents and I was the youngest of the kids in the family. Sonny and Cher, when they got together, when they first met, he was 28, she was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a little tip if you don't know this. But anyways, that's the age they were. And if you go back and you just a little bit of research, like what Betty said, anything like that, you can kind of find this information yourself. They even did a TV movie a long time ago about the two of them. And if you watch that, it talks about it in the TV movie that Cher was very afraid. She was very nervous. She's 16 years old. And he encouraged her, sing, sing, sing. You can sing, you can sing, you can sing. And she said, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't like people looking at me. I'm embarrassed. I have big teeth and whatever. She had, she didn't like the way she looked and whatever. And she was embarrassed. And he said, I'll stand here with you and close your eyes and sing in here in the booth. And I'll stand here with you. Just close your eyes so she did it. She did it because he was there. So I really think Kody keeps bringing that up. He's stroking his own ego here. This is my club, my family. my thing. They're all here because of me. The kids are here because they're my kids. So he feels like, oh, if I'm not here, he's trying to make himself relevant. If I'm not here, they can't be, the Janelle and Christine show. They can't do that. There
Right.
can't be Janelle and Christine show. There can't be an ex sister wife, surviving sister wife after sister wife show. I have to be part of it. So he's really trying to just make himself so relevant. And I think that's the only reason he's throwing it out. He's saying this, and you see the look on Meri and Rebecca and Nathan's face. They're like, we don't even know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah, his crazy pants. His
I know.
crazy pants.
They just look confused, but it's like he's not doing it for them. He's doing it for production. He's doing it for the powers that be at TLC. Hey, I'm the Sonny Bono in this situation. I'm the one that keeps it going. I'm the one
Right.
that makes her get in there and sing. I'm the one who does it. I'm the business person that makes it happen and I push her to get out there and sing. Okay.
Right.
You're the
Excellent
big.
points. Excellent points. But I got to bounce on. Thank you so much for calling in. Those are great points. Great points.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so great to talk to you, and I look forward to hearing what everybody else says, because these people you got a bunch of smarty pants that call in and everything. They're great.
Yeah.
These
Awesome.
people know what they're talking about.
Well, good company. You're one of them. So thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much for
you.
calling
Thank
in.
you.
Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Excellent points. And one of the folks that mentioned last week, I wish I remembered their name. I want to give you your flowers, but they had mentioned that Sonny Bono and Cher. Well, I'll add on to the fact, and then we'll jump right over to Michelle. You're up next, Michelle. One of the things they had mentioned is that when it came to Sonny Bono, we put things in the context how things were back then, and Betsy actually reminded me of this. How things were back then, you didn't have the type of paparazzi and the type of involvement in celebrities' lives like you do now. So you didn't have situations where people were just watching TV and you could find out all this celebrities' business or whatever. So you had news reporters who actually did news. So when they were reporting on like some of these big events that were going on at the time, Sonny and Cher was kind of one of them things. They might have talked about it, but I think by the time they got divorced, they weren't even really on the show anymore. Like they had a couple shows that they were doing, so it wasn't that impactful. But one of the things that did strike me is that when Sonny and Cher, and I think one of the key things is when Kody mentioned Sonny and Cher, when Sonny and Cher got divorced, that was pretty much the end of Sonny's career. Just something to think about. Cher, because Cher went on. Cher is still selling out down there in Vegas. Like Sonny's been, I think he died in the 90s. But Cher has been rocking, arenas well after he was gone. But we're on Michelle. Michelle coming up next. And then we have Christine right after that. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hi everybody. Hope you're all okay. My great grandmother is what is needed in this situation. She was a Victorian lady, and she gave no F's. She would deal with you accordingly. And she used to say, lies have got speed, but the truth's got endurance. So that was going back to what you said earlier, I mean, he can tell himself what he wants. He can try and portray it to all and everybody that it was another way. Not going to work, though, because people have got their own minds, And he's a petulant child.
Right.
That's his whole thing. He's going to be left lonely in a large group of one by himself because he's got nothing to say and he says it far too loud. And all this behaviour that when he's around other boys, he actually reminds me of, there was a show called The Little Rascals. And, I can't remember how it was put, but, we don't let women in our club. We don't need them, and his childishness in this episode I was just for once, I was speechless. And that takes a lot. But I was like, he might as well have stood there and gone, "You're a doo-doo head. No, 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 no. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Otherwise, you can't come and play with my toys anymore." You know, he's going to be left lonely, poor, unfortunately. I don't wish that on anyone. But he's got to check himself.
Right. Well, I do
And
like.
I don't think he's well.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate the fact that you said that when he's around other men, because I've noticed that before. And I've even made notation of the fact that it's hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to respect a dude who acts a different way when he's around other dudes. Like, you're around one group of people, you act one way. You're around another group of people, you act a different way. Like, I like consistency. So if you are who you are, you should be who you are, no matter who's in the room with you, whether it's the CEO or the maintenance man or the mailroom guy. You should be the same way. And it's hard for me to respect a guy whose personality changes because of the company that he's keeping at the time.
He's like a character chameleon. And it makes you wonder what version of him is really him.
Right.
And does he know anymore? Because it's a bit like the Truman Show now. It's he believes his own hype, and that's dangerous.
Right.
And I worry even though he's a complete douche, and he's still a human being. And I think to myself, the amount of generational trauma he has caused, and what the cost of all this is going to be, and not the cost in the way that he would count it. You know, it's quite sad.
Right.
But as for the women, just one last point. The best way for them to deal with this, even though it's not for me to say, I'll say it anyway.
There you go.
Get over him and get on. Because there is nothing that he has got for you that you need, that you want, or that he's ever likely to offer up in the first place. If you had it to give, you'd have it.
Right.
And if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. Leave him be.
I gotta write that down. Hold on. He already have it. I love it. All right. I love it. I'll write that down. I'm gonna hang that on a post-it note. Put it on my refrigerator.
Right, everybody, have a wonderful week. Have a really wonderful week. And I look forward to your videos in the week.
Thank you. And it was great seeing you tonight. Look lovely.
Thank you very much. I've got new teeth now. They're not with me. They're in a pot, but it's all right.
That's all right.
Have a lovely day, guys.
You too. You take it easy. It's good seeing you.
Yeah. But bye. I don't know how to turn this off. Can you do that? Please?
Yes, I got you. Awesome. Michelle in the house. Lovely lady. All right. Oh, before I go any further, we have Christine up next, and then we'll have Cindy. So I see you, Cindy, with the fur baby. So we got Lizzie B in the house. Hey, what's going on? We got Lizzie B in the house with the $5 super chat. 800 people in the chat. Please, or I should say 800 people in the house. Please hit the like button for the this reality stream. Thank you so much for that, Lizzie B. Appreciate you. She's also holding it down for us as a moderator, doing a wonderful job per usual, because that's how Lizzie B roll, staying on top of things. We also had another super chat, and then I'll get right to you guys. From Brittany, not Brittany, $4.99 super chat. Had to dip out for a bit, but Kody calling all the other women victims when Robin was sobbing on the bathroom floor 2 weeks ago is a choice. Once again, dropping facts, Brittany, not Brittany. Everybody else is a victim. But my favorite part is he calls these ladies victims, and they always want to act like victims, and they're always sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. By the way, let me tell you about everything that happened to me and why it's so wrong and why I'm heartbroken. Like, I don't know. These rough and tumble alpha males, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't want to shame nobody for being upset or feeling emotion, but geez Louise, bro. Thank you guys for the super chats. We'll pop this one back up. While we talk to Miss Christine coming into the house. Hey, Christine, how you doing?
Hi, James.
How's everything?
Hi. There's a little bit of an echo. I'm sorry. I'll do my best. So I've been watching you for at least a year.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so, and it's funny. I'm going to share something. Might be a little embarrassing, but when you're talking about give me the HBO special, I'm like, I thought you were trying to get on HBO because I started watching your videos. So I like this guy, James. He's trying to get on HBO. Okay, I'll help James out. And then since I learned it's Help a Brother Out special, so
Yeah.
but yeah, but that was great. So um, I don't. I have Max, so I won't see the latest episode till tomorrow. But I
Okay.
rewatched the last week's episode again and took some notes. So just want to just share some comments on that. So the first thing, Robin, and they're showing I get the recap and her line. I just don't get to have the perfect Christmas.
Mm,
And it just I know and the family has suffered a terrible tragedy since then, but this was the end of 2022.
right.
So at the end of 2022, she has a healthy family, 5 healthy children, a beautiful $1,000,000 home, and she's sitting there crying.
Right.
And it just people I don't know, it just really it angers me, especially having lost people close to me
Mm,
when people when p when peop when people, just don't appreciate what they have, and she's sitting around crying about this. And I've spent a couple of Christmas Eves alone in the past, and it's not fun.
right.
It's not
Right.
fun. So I just wanted to, yeah, and just talk a little bit about, Christmas. And I this was touched on before, like Robin's kids don't look particularly happy. And it's just a striking difference between the families on Christmas, like especially Christine and Janelle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. Even Janelle, she's like, "Oh, I had to look up some recipes," but she's talking about Maddie and um, how she does all the traditional things, like looking at the lights. And I used to do that with
Right.
my daughter too before she was old enough to know what was going on. So yeah, so it's just it's good to see them so happy and just moving on and everything. Um, so yeah, and the other thing I wanted to touch on, so that some of the kids expressed concern that Christine and David were moving fast, which it
Right.
does seem fast in the one sense, um, but in the sense that they weren't divorced for very long. But it does make me think of another point, at least, I mean, in my case, when my daughter's father and our relationship ended, and when a lot of relationships end, by the time the actual separation happens, um, a lot of times you're emotionally and mentally checked out or been checked out for some time. And I know
Mm-hmm.
Christine was so stressed and so unhappy for so long. Um, so I'm really happy for her. I'm really happy
Right.
for her. And the PDA, I mean, I think I've thought a lot about that too. And I think um especially with younger kids, I think it's good for them in a sense to see their parents or holding hands and hugging and things like that. So I
Mm,
think I saw the preview of the episode that aired tonight, and kind of making out a little bit. I think I make the kids uncomfortable, but yeah. So we know they have a happy ending. So um, yeah. So and I really liked seeing Christine and David, especially in the restaurant on their date, and um, just making that connection. And it switches back to Kody and Meri's conversation. It's almost felt like a record scratch to me because you're in this wonderful moment. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure what I was trying to figure out what the point of that. I wanted to hear your view on it. What the point of that conversation was
Oh,
between why Kody wanted to talk to Meri because I think what it the conclusion I'm coming to is I think it just he just can't accept the fact that he didn't get to control the narrative, and I'm
right.
sure that could probably hurt anybody's ego. Three people leaving him. That's brought that on himself. I just wanted to hear your take on that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think the whole thing with the conversation he had with Meri, that's the conversation we're talking about from last week,
Mhm.
where he comes over and she's like, I don't want to have this argument. I think that he was more upset, not about her leaving or them getting divorced or being separated. What he was upset about was the fact that the church had deemed that he had abandoned Meri.
Right.
And so he came over with the express intent of hurting her and trying to shame her into saying that the two of them broke up because of something that he had nothing to do with. It's not my
Mhm.
fault. Is
Mhm.
he really wants to put it on her. You left me,
Right.
I didn't leave you. It's your fault.
Mhm.
You were the weak one. I was willing to stick it out and pretend to be married to you.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just a matter of controlling the narrative. He doesn't
Mhm.
like how he's being perceived. He doesn't like the fact that she left him or she took steps to actually proactively leave him and not be a part of his situation. But I will be talking about it in a video this week. So
Yeah.
yeah, I will be addressing that. I will be addressing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that conversation is just so unnerving. I'm sure it was to a lot of other people too. It's just,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it's crazy
I'm
sauce. It's
proud. I'm
crazy
proud
sauce.
of Mary and the way she's handling herself. She's just she's not having it. And she's
Right,
just calling him on all of his crap,
right,
which is good. It's nice to finally see that. And even Mary's Christmas celebration, as subdued as it seemed, it still seemed nicer than, unfortunately, than Cody's and Robin's. I mean,
hmm
I think Robin's 3 oldest kids, I mean, especially her older daughters, I think that Robin, I think, has brainwashed them into thinking that the other kids don't want anything to do with them, and it's the saddest thing.
right,
They just it looks very sad, like they're trying to compensate with tons of stuff, and,
right, right.
we know that that doesn't work, so
It never works like you're playing. Well,
yeah, and
thank
it doesn't at all.
yeah, not at
And
all, not at all.
yeah,
It's short lived. It's
yeah,
short
so
lived.
I think that's all my notes.
Okay. Well, thank you. You
So
did a great job. It was awesome. I
oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, thank you, it's nice to finally meet you.
You as
I had
well.
a great time.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thanks for
thank you, take
calling in.
care.
Have a good night.
Hey, you too.
Awesomeness, awesomeness. Great job, Christine. The one thing I will say before we go on to the next person, Cindy, you're up next. The one thing I will say is that it always amazes me how amazing so many of you guys are, especially in the chat box and folks who call into the show. So knowledgeable, so thoughtful, and so intelligent with your responses, comments, and even the consideration and how you approach the subject matter. So I genuinely appreciate that. But we'll get into the next person. Coming up next, we got Cindy to the floor. Cindy, it's all yours. What's going on?
Hi, James. Glad to talk to you.
Glad to talk to you too. I see you with the fur baby.
Oh yeah, they don't stop. They're border collies.
Uh,
I know we're talking about sister wives, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I wish you had one and somebody could email you and say, James, this happened. My neighbor did this, and then you're going to answer, and I'm going to listen, and I would be like, oh, that's good advice, James, about any number of things, not just a sister wife thing. And I think that would be great if you had like a podcast channel where I would title it Ask James Advice, or What Would James Say, or What Would James Do? That's what I would.
that's awesome.
I think you
That's
should do it. And I would email you the people's silly little problems. No one's doing that yet. And I think it'd be interesting because when I'm listening to podcasts, that would be like Dear Abby, but Dear James.
There you go. There you go. Actually, I tried to do it a little earlier in the summer, right before the season started. Didn't go. Oh, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I'm willing to try again. You know, as they say, if it doesn't work the first time, try again. So
You don't
you
have
never
to have
know.
live callers. Just have them email in the questions. You can pick which ones, and it'd be fun. And just do it on podcast too. Like you don't even have to be live on camera.
Right.
Just something. But as far as Kody goes, I can't say the word sissy any politer than sissy. He's a sissy. All his wives bossed him around, all of them. And then Robin won because she was the biggest boss. And I think they've been running a scam on us, and they've been pulling monogamy for the whole time. I think they're all in agreement. I don't think anybody's sad. I think they're all pretending. What do you think?
Okay, okay. You know, I can see that. I think that they have investment as far as like the time, energy. And I do think that Kody and Robin are probably taking a lot of the money. Like I think they've absconded with a good portion of the sister wife proceeds, which may have left some like that argument he had with Janelle. I 100% believe that one.
Oh, I believe a lot of it.
Yeah, that argument because she was like, "Turn it off!" Like she was pissed. Like she was genuinely angry about. And then even the part right after that where she was saying that once he left, she realized that she didn't have anything to her name and she didn't have any money or
I
whatever.
think that too.
Yeah, that she was feeling that.
There's
So
there's no way they could have been scamming all of us because somebody would have said it. The neighbors or like that would have been out. But it's just a thought because some of their sadness doesn't seem all that real. Like they all seem deliriously happy. The only victim I see here is Kody Brown. He's a victim. He's trapped in that McMansion, and now with this new mortgage. Have you?
yeah,
If somebody gave you a debt like that from the bank, that's like a prison sentence. I would think
exactly. It's a financial prison, is what it is. It's a
yeah,
financial prison
I
because
had a truck.
you can't do anything at
No,
that point.
I had a truck broke down, and I used to be a transport driver. I used to own my own truck, and if I paid them $4,500 to rebuild the motor, it would get me another 5 years. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a gavel coming down. No, I'm going to scrap it, sell it, and get out of that business. Five
Right.
more years. I don't know what he's signing for, but that's the only victim in there in the McMansion. Not the kids, not robbing him.
Right, right.
And he
Yeah, because
looks like
that money, I don't know what they're gonna do. Because my whole thing has always been, especially when it comes to sister wives, these type of reality shows, you have to see. You can't see it as much as a career as it is an opportunity, and so you can't plan to have like sister wives for the next 20 years or 30 years to help you pay this mortgage. So you have to start making moves so that you can secure your future now so that when the music stops and the show is over, you can continue working your life and you don't have to go punch a clock for the rest of your days trying to figure out how you're going to pay for this house that you couldn't possibly afford. Because the big challenge is that once this opportunity is over, do you have the skill set to be able to go on to the next opportunity and demand and command the same level of money that you were making at that last job? So if Sister Wife's in, can he go to another reality show production or whatever where he's going to make the same level of money? And the answer is probably not.
he
You
should
know,
have the $420,000 in his hand. And instead of going to the bank, he should have just kept going, ran away from Robin, away from everything. That's what I would have been jealous of a man with $420,000 on the loose, not a dum dum who gave it to the bank and put himself $2 million in debt. And
right,
everybody's jealous and oh, he's got a mansion. No, he doesn't. He's got something. He's got to let it go to the dogs the same way that house did. And he let $420,000 fly out of his head, and he gave it to a bank.
right, right.
He
Well,
could have ran.
and that's kind of the weird part about it too, is that at the end of the day, there are people who buy houses, put money down, they buy a house, they have the house for themselves, and they go through the bank to get it. There are other people who put down money, and essentially what they're doing is holding the house for the bank.
That's what he's doing.
You know what I mean? Like you just hold the house for 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden you can't afford it no more, and you just turn it over, and they do what they're gonna do with it.
420. That's more than my house is worth. I would have had
Right.
he should have ran with that. He should have got on a Greyhound bus.
Right. You can buy a nice house for 420. Like you're not living in it. You know what I mean? 420. That's a nice house.
He's
It's not a mansion or but it's a nice house. It's a really nice house.
He reminds me of a financial guy, the people that win the lottery, and they're
Mm.
half a year later. Except he said, "Look at this lottery win of 420,000, and let me see how I can owe money on that." So it's like everyone's going on about his mansion. If someone gave me that, I'd be in mourning that I have to pay that. What, $15,000 a month? What's the mortgage on that?
I think it's like 15 or 20, but you also have to keep in mind the property taxes. And then with a house that size, like the electricity, the utilities, and things
Just
of
buy
that
a light
nature.
bulb. Just buy light bulbs.
Yeah, candles. You need candles. Or you just do, when the sun go down, we all go to bed. Like that's how that works.
That's the biggest prison I've ever heard. When I thought that, I thought, poor little victim Kody. And he gets pushed around by everybody. If you watch the seasons, I can't say the other word because of your channel, but he's a sissy. He can't come up with an original thought. I feel sorry for him. Gets bossed around by everybody. And when he's running up to the guy in the show tonight, he's like, be my friend, be my friend, be my friend. I just, a little puppy. Well, no, my dog right here, he's got more class. He's just not that. This guy's interested everybody to like him, like me. Reminds me of my puppies.
Right. Looking for that best friend. As long as you got a bone in your head, you're his best friend.
And Robin's with him everywhere because he's going to get away. And apparently he had 420, so I would hang on to him close too because everybody could take off with him.
Yeah, but how mad would you be if you married to a dude, he finally get 420 in his hand and he throw like the only thing that would have made that worse if he'd have went to the casino.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
It's a bad time to be buying houses too. Like it's not the time to invest, big investment guy.
Right. Well, he's never been known for the financial, so kind of is what it is. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
And I think all them 3 women dumped him. They really, really did. Meri seems happy and he seems sad.
Yeah. Really? She looked like she got over it.
She was over it. The beginning. Thank you for letting me in. Have a good night. And think about that podcast, answering random emails. That would be awesome.
I will. Thank you so much for the advice. I appreciate it.
Thank you, James.
Take all suggestions. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Amazing. All right. Next up, we're going to have Teresa Skinner. Let me just make sure that I have everything done on my end. And I do. And I see we have Teresa Skinner, Rebecca, then we have Negla, and we have Brittany, not Brittany. Okay. All right, Teresa Skinner, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, James?
Doing awesome. Awesome. Great hearing from you. How's everything going? How's everything going? That's country as hell. I'm sorry. How is everything?
Everything's going great.
Awesome.
With regard to something that Christine brought up about the isolation of Robin's kids, part of me is wondering how much of that is so that they can't tell others what's going on in that house with regard to how they're being treated, whether or not Robin and Kody are doing fine or what, other things. I kind of don't want to allude to the fact that, we've seen video footage of all of those bottles up there on that countertop. So I'm seriously thinking that maybe he's taken something to help with his workouts or whatever it is. And maybe that explains part of that extreme personality change we've seen. And if things like that are going on in the house, maybe the isolation of the children is not so much to keep the others away from him, but from the other kids, but maybe so that, they can't go back and tote tales about what's actually going on in the home.
Right. Well, because it's weird you say that because I was just writing down the thing. The isolation in the home part, I think, is an interesting side of it, just from the respect of if he has the kids isolated, I know that he's very sensitive about people telling on him or talking about him to other folks. He tried to stop Peyton from. In fact, he went to TLC to try to get an injunction against the children so they couldn't
He's
talk to him about on social media.
he's very controlling
Right.
with regard to people's relationships with each other. And I think one of the points you brought up earlier was that how he would triangulate and try to get the women against each other, and then he had to try to keep his little tails straight about who was mad at who. And and Robin, I think, has done that too, to a certain degree, has said or done things that would get one of the other sister wives. She would say or do things from time to time in the earlier seasons to try to get one pitted against the other with
Right.
decisions that were being talked about or decisions that were being made. And some of her little games were, like, for instance, when they were talking about I think the move to Flagstaff,
Right.
and she just, or no, it was the one house thing.
Mhm.
She decided she would wait and not say anything because she said she wanted to see what everybody else's thoughts were, and then she kind of let them be the scapegoat, and it ended up being Christine
Right.
because everybody knew Christine would be the most vocal about that one house thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And good for her. Good for her for sticking
Yeah.
up for herself. I'm glad she did, because she would have got screwed over if she'd have moved into one house.
And
She got
some
stuck.
something else that I thought about was the custody lawsuit for Truly.
Hmm.
Sometimes it may not be about the money, and it may not be about the about trying to force Kody to spend time with her. But what about if Christine's doing it because she wants Truly to know you are loved and you are worth this. You are worth so much more than what you're getting.
Right.
With regard to Kody's time and his care and his thoughts and things like that. But also, I do know that Truly is probably more comfortable, it seems like, with David stepping in as a dad, because he was patient with the whole bike riding thing, whereas Kody, kind of really got verbal with her and, got her where she was scared. But
Right.
sometimes you do things for your children, and it's not so much about the money it's more to help them emotionally with things, I think, sometimes.
Right.
And Christine, that might have been her motivation for it, was like, okay, Truly, I know you're going through a lot of this, but I want you to know that, you are worth it and you do deserve, So that was just one of my observations with that it could possibly be that. And then
Right.
one thing that stuck out to me tonight was when David said, I know that Christine never got the big wedding and she deserves it, and I want to give it to her. And I thought, you go, David, go. Because he's trying to be so much more of a husband and a
Right.
support to Christine than she ever had before.
Right. 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 I think that's fair play.
Yeah.
Excellent points. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Awesome call. Appreciate it.
Take care, James, and have a great rest of your week.
You too. You too. You stay out of
Bye-bye.
trouble, Teresa.
Oh, I will. I've been doing a lot of gardening.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And I can't get my collard greens to produce more than about 5 leaves. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lord only knows what we'll eat for vegetables at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
But I do have 3 tomatoes that have started growing. So
Oh, there you go.
We're working at it.
Hey, you know what? It's about the family just as much as the food. So
right,
as long as
I'm
you have
trying to just
company.
stay busy. So
there you go. There you
take
go.
care.
You too. You too. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome call. Oh, just as a correction, it just occurred to me. It wasn't David who taught Truly to ride a bike, it was Mitch. But point taken though, because I do think that to Teresa's point, with David being in close proximity to Christine, I think that David lends so much more to color Christine's background for her kids, because the kids get to see their mother in a loving, compassionate relationship where you have a partner who's actually looking out for their mother. Because kids learn how to conduct and deal with relationships by what they see sometimes at home and what they see growing up. So, growing up in a house where both parents are extremely frigid with one another, they're cold, they're not despondent, they're not really affectionate, they act like they don't like each other. That becomes normalized. And when you start to look for relationships yourself, in some cases, it can affect your ability to navigate those waters, because you'll start to think that, when you get in a relationship with somebody, your relationship will start to mirror the relationship that your parents had. So it's a nice change for Truly to be exposed to a relationship where her mom is, feels special and attractive to her mate. But so Teresa was spot on. But I gotta do one pickup, and then we have Rebecca the Negla. Here it is. Was this passing for normal $5 super chat? Fun fact: the size of a man's pencil is inversely proportional to the size of his mortgage. So Kody has a monster mortgage, and I guess he got one of them nubby pencils. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give we'll give a passing for normal a little something. All right. See, passing for normal, you got me acting bad. Fall for the trick. Rebecca Flagstaff in the house. All right, I'm sorry, Rebecca.
It's okay. I'm sorry, James, and I'm sorry, everybody. You can mute me if you want, because everybody's like, "What's she calling back for? Go away." But no, I was totally listening to. I got so focused on what Teresa was saying, because she's absolutely right talking about Christine. But I was thinking what I didn't get to say earlier was how interesting that was. Did you see how Truly was acting when they were looking at those wedding venues?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christine really played it off like, oh, they don't want to see me kiss and whatever. And we saw her like jumping on David and Christine's arm, on her hand, and just over and over again. And to where she was annoying. She's a pain in the butt. Let's face it. Kids are like that. Kids are a pain in the butt. We were all like that. But I mean, I kind of felt bad for her because, Christine's a smart gal. Christine's smart. And so that through the years, if we've all said it, Christine probably said it to Kody a lot and said, there's a year age difference or whatever it is between Truly and Saul. You spend all your time over there, blah, blah, blah. So she probably was a pawn a lot of times in arguments. Why are you over there? You got another kid that's tender that's here at my house, and you never come to see my kid. You can't be away from your kid, those kids, but what about mine? And I kind of felt bad. It made, just watching that, you could tell with poor Truly, she probably, I mean, yeah, she's being a brat and being kind of a wild kid, but you felt bad for her, because, or at least I did, because it was kind of like she needs time with her mother. She has been one of 18 kids and ignored because she belongs to Christine. You know what I mean?
Right.
She has been ignored because she belongs to Christine, just like, Savannah's been ignored because she belongs to Janelle. And I felt bad for poor Truly. She needs some attention from her mama. It's not about mama's swap and spit with David. It's about, I need my mother's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Hold my hand, Mom.
Right.
hug on me, whatever, give me some attention because I'm one of 18 and I'm drowning here. So I did. I felt bad for her. I really did. And then to hear when we all heard Kody, when the producers egg him on, which I want to slap the producers sometimes, about, you could tell they told Kody about the two of them getting married. And what did he say? Why get married when you don't know one another? And it's like, I wish there was a PR person for Kody that would tell him, you know what, when somebody says something like that to you, say no comment because, hello pot, this is kettle, you're black. Shut your mouth.
Right.
Right? Right.
Yeah, because he married all of them on short notice. So it's
Exactly. He has no room to talk about good marriages or anything because he is not good at that. I know somebody needs to I want to be his PR person and just to tell him, Kody, if you don't like to be in a hole, put down the shovel.
right.
Right?
Yeah, at
Just
some point, stop digging. Yeah,
right.
stop
No,
digging.
you won't be in a hole anymore if you just stop. If you
Right.
just put your hand over your mouth and just figure it out. But we see once again he's going to do that next week too by saying, Janelle's got a victim card. She's playing her victim card. And it's
Right.
like when I saw that, I laughed out loud and I was like, yeah. And at the bottom of the card it says, please turn over, and then it says, please return to Robin.
Right.
Right? I mean, yeah.
Property of Robin Brown.
Property of Robin Brown. Yeah, that's where that came from. That was hers. She's been holding on to that one for years.
Right.
So, yeah, crazy stuff. Well, I'm going to let everybody else do the talking because they are way smarter than I am.
Well, I
So,
appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
yeah, no, let's hear you. Let's hear you. What else you got to say, James? And these other people, they are so with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Cracker Jackson there.
That's right.
Ted at the
These
piece.
people know what they're talking about. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
Everybody
so
can unmute now that I'm going off again. Sorry.
Have a good night. All right. So, some good points there. Some good points, and I think it's also special too that I do like the relationship with David, just in the sense that it's nice that for once Truly gets to have a person who's in the house and she gets to see a completed relationship. I think that that's kind of cool. I think Christine had even mentioned it that, when Truly comes home, David's there. And, when she leaves in the morning and she comes back home, David's still there. And this is something that she didn't grow up with because Kody would be there for the evening. He'd come in about 5, 6 o'clock or sometimes 8 o'clock at night. I guess they'd all sit down. He would see him, maybe say goodnight to him when they go to bed. When they wake up, he would either already be gone or he's on his way out with them to go over to somebody else's house. They wouldn't see him for another 2 or 3 days. Whereas with this, she gets the benefit of consistency in her life and lifestyle. So I think that that's awesome. Just real quick, and then we're going to get to Negla 3. Then we have Brittany Not Brittany and Sarah M. Okay, Sarah M, I see you. Let me just do this real quick. Wait, actually, sorry, passing for normal. Already got you. Wallace Shotwell, 499 super chat. Okay. Just sending in some love. Appreciate you. Let me give you a little something. Because I appreciate you. And Negla 3, what's going on?
James, I finally decided to reveal myself in person.
That's all right.
Hey,
you look lovely.
Thank you. Look, it's all I can do to keep it down. And look, I got my whole. I told you I'd be writing my stuff down. I got my whole. But first of all, okay, did you say knobby pencil or newbie pencil?
Yeah, little
You gotta stop doing that to me because every time I'm about to come up, it's either you or it's Miss Betty. It's just come out. Oh,
Throwing shots.
it'd be like shots fired. I'd be like, oh no, I did not hear that. And you know what, Miss Betty, she's actually from the same town in Mississippi that my godfather is from, and it's like 3 people that live in that. She said where she's from before, but you know, she's from that little town in Mississippi, and so I'm like, every time she comes on, she makes me think of my godfather Nate. So anyway, he don't live there no more, but anyway, okay, now so my Hulu, I don't know what's going on with it, so I don't watch it on Hulu. I watch it the next day I got Amazon Prime, so I watch it through but have you ever seen Cat Williams Pimp Chronicles?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember when he was talking about having movies or interviews? I'm not going to say what he said, but having interviews with people in Hollywood, and they would pull out certain things on the desk.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, did you know that I can see
you? Right.
Legit. That's what Lord Fauntleroy and Robert remind me of. It's like, do you not know that this is being filmed? Because when you say stuff, it's right there. It's like it's there for public consumption. And so like I said, well, it's going to bite him in the tail feather, because whatever. So I have a feeling, okay, before they bought the house, remember that there was it was a financial restraining order, which is common. Like if you get divorced, if you have child support or whatever, there's a financial restraining order. So if you need to buy something or whatever, then the court and the other person needs to know about it.
Right.
So I have a feeling that Christine may have let that house purchase go through so that she could get an eye on his finances. She doesn't have any rights to for divorcing him or whatever. They were never legally married, but that would go a long way with establishing a base child support amount. Right. Does that make sense? So I just agree. I think that she played nice. And then now it's gonna backfire on him. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Anyway.
Well, to that point, I think that it should also be noted that she could very well be playing both sides against the middle, because even though she's suing him, she by her having discovery, because that's what it would be, she would have a discovery motion or discovery practice where he would have to turn over all his finances, where his money's coming from, how he's getting it, how much he has, what assets he has, how much he's paying out each month. And she'll get a full map of that. She could take that information and say, drop it off to a friend's house who may need that information to figure out where their money is. Like, I don't know, Janelle. So, I mean, it could be doing both things. Yeah. She could be playing both sides.
Because not only her and Janelle, but actually Meri. And Janelle wants to be fair to Meri.
Right.
So I didn't think about that.
Yeah, she could be dropping bombs. Like, so this could be bad. And it get bad real quick. This is why I don't understand why he even want to play this game. Like, I wouldn't even want to play the game. I would just try to clear myself as much as I can. Give them Coyote pass, let it go, so that way you can have your stuff free and clear, and you don't have to crack your books. And then you talk to Christine, try to negotiate a reasonable child support settlement, and you just send her a check each month, and you try to seek truly as best you can. But
and to that point, that's my last point. Or no, that's not my last point. That's my almost last point. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So the other thing is that, so again, back to, did you know that I could see you? I remember very clearly that, so I have 3 children. I have 3 different children's fathers. It's okay. One of them lived in heaven. He passed away when I was pregnant with her. But the other 2, so I remember very clearly, even though we were not married, the court made us submit to psyche vows.
Right.
And I wonder if he's going to have to submit to a psyche vow. That's if he actually wants visitation of truth. He might do what, and you know what? And I didn't know it until I really heard a really, really deep dive about what happened with Robert's, like what really happened with Robert's kids, and why he actually was able to adopt them. But unless he wants to give all up all parental rights to the baby, to
Truly.
Truly. And if he does that, he knows his kids are gone from his life forever. They will never forgive him for that, ever.
Right.
It's going to be kind of like how he sees Meri divorcing him, even though he didn't want to ask for it. But anyway, that's but yeah, but the psyche valve will tell a lot. And I know this is really like, it's a domestic court, so a lot of that stuff comes under seal and has to be under seal or whatever. But it will tell, it's going to come out in the it's going to come out in the wash, or in the truth. And then there's one last thing real quick about Christine's kids. Now, I know that they were giving their mother a hard time. However, I look at it through the eyes of someone who, my parents split when I was 5. They got legally divorced when I was 9. And my mother, she never really redated like in front of me. But my dad would have girlfriends and this, that, and the other. And I remember he had this one girlfriend to where like he would buy this little boy like books and toys and this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting here like, excuse you, how you gonna have a whole nother family over here? And you know what I mean? And I'm still here. And I think that's sort of where his kids are with how much attention and all of that they're lavishing on, I mean, I remember one time Daddy went off for reserve duty on the weekend, and I gave that woman holy heck. And
right.
My dad, he had promised, he made a promise to my mother when I was born that he would never lay a hand on me, because he, they had both suffered, physical abuse from their parents, corporal punishment, we'll put it that way, from their parents. And he said, I'll never lay a hand on her. She's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But when he came home from duty and she told him what I did, yeah, because
promises were broken.
I deserved it. But see, that's what they saw that their dad do to their mother. And I think that's what they're afraid. It's not that they're afraid that she's going to do the same thing to them. But I think that it's just like, as a child, when you grow up in the environment that they did, already having to have a fractured parentship or parenthood, I think that it's kind of their defense mechanisms just kind of going into overdrive.
Right. That's fair. That's fair play.
So, yeah.
No, good point.
So,
good point.
That's it. All right, dear. I look forward to
Amazing
I look
job.
forward to seeing your I think you come on Mondays. So I look forward to seeing that.
I'll be back on Monday and I'll be dropping videos all week. Make sure you check out the video I did today, because I was talking about like the whole deposit on the house, the $2 million purchase. So in that video I did today, and then I'll be talking about Meri this week. I'll be talking about Kody and his little attitudes. So it should be a good week. Action-packed week planned ahead. So
that's cool. That's cool. All right, dear. Well, you take care. Please have a blessed week to you and the family. All right,
you as well. Thanks for making you appeared on the show. Looking good.
Finally in person.
There you go. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, awesomeness. And we have Brittany Not Brittany up next, and then Sarah M in the house. Before I do that, I just want to make sure. Just as a point of reference, something that Negla 3 had said, I just want to make reference to it real quick. I think that it's important too for us to keep in mind that not necessarily in these particular relationships with Christine, but it should also be noted that in some of these polygamous relationships, so much emphasis is placed on the man and the man's presence in the home that when he comes over, everything gets dropped, and even sometimes the kids get dropped or pushed aside as well, because there's so much focus on the men when they get over there. So there could be, not saying necessarily this is the case, because I'd have to think about it a little more, maybe pontificate on it additionally, but with truly some of the fear that some of the kids may have, or some of the hesitance that the kids may have, it may come from the fact that they may have concerns that their mom will now shift a lot of their focus onto a man who is going to consistently be there. So say Kody, as a for instance, if he only comes around once a week, and when he shows up, everything gets dropped and is all about Kody for that one day, and then you have another week where you don't see him, that's one thing. But to have a man who is consistently there night after night after night, that could mean that your relationship with your mom could be compromised. Now, if that is the fear, whether real or not, of the children, whether it's Aspirin, McKelty, Isabel, or even Truly, if that is genuinely one of their fears, that's something that I'm sure Christine is going to or has addressed, and she worked it out with those kids to put them in a good place so that they understand what the relationship is and that they won't be ignored, they won't be forgotten, and this is just an addition to the family and not necessarily the main focus of the family. So coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Brittany, not Brittany, in the house. What's going on, Brittany? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well, doing very well. Another night here listening to Tales of Sister Wives.
Tales of Sister Wives. And you know what? It was pretty mad. It did not raise my blood pressure completely. There were a couple moments where it doop, but it came back down. And so that was
Right.
good. That was good. It was a nice filler episode. Um, First of all, I love that Cody is so mad that these women do not want to keep his stuff. Like they're just like,
Yeah.
nah, no, I'm not gonna keep it. He's like, you don't want to keep it. It has sentimental value, babe. No,
You don't want to
no.
think of me?
Go and
Yeah.
take this over to
Uh,
Robin's house. Like I'm
right.
sure she has no space for it, but can junk up her house even more. So go and give it to Robin. That's
Right.
perfectly fine. So
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, it didn't occur to me at the time, but there is a possibility that the reason why he wants them to carry that stuff with him, especially to their new places, is that he may feel like that gives him an in to their new homes. So that their
hmm
new homes is still his home. Like it's just a
right.
weird thing. Like it never occurred to me that that would even be a thing because I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah,
But yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We live with the same people.
Right,
So
right, exactly. I live on Earth One. Like I, you know,
yes. Foolishness like this does not happen. And you're
right,
right, because I could totally see him being like, I just came to see if I left my toothpaste in the nightstand.
right, right,
And you're
right.
just like, boy, just
You never lived here. Why would the
get out.
toothpaste be?
Right.
This is your first time at this house, and it actually reminds me because even now, even as I drill down into it a little more, last week when he came over to Mary's house to have the conversation, and he
Mm-hmm.
pulls in and he walks right into the house. You know, he doesn't ring the doorbell. He just turns and walks into the house like he lives there. You know, but he never lived with Mary in Arizona ever.
Never lived with her. Add
Right,
to that, just a quick rewind to last week's episode. It really hits me. It really hit me that Cody showed up to all three of them women's houses in homes that he never paid for, didn't pay nary a bill in, and
right.
talked to them crazy.
In
Absolutely
a
crazy.
house.
In
In
their
a
house.
house. Yeah.
Sir. No,
Yeah, we're not doing that.
absolutely. Absolutely not. He definitely is on a completely different plane because in no way, absolutely not. No, because we're playing grit ball. You come into my house talking any kind of way, I'm throwing hot grits in your face. 100%. 100%.
Right. Like you making grits for dinner? I knew you were
Just for
coming.
you.
Yeah, right.
Just for you. I said last week because somebody said something about he's not gonna get the Rice Krispie turkey thing. And I was like, Mary should bake him some chocolate pie, a la the help.
Yeah, right.
She
Yeah,
should
right.
absolutely give him some pie. Just like some hospitality. Here you go. This is my parting gift to you.
Right.
Um, and then the next thing, and I don't know if anybody's touched on it because I had to be sort of in and out of this live, so I didn't really get to hear everybody. I will be on the rewatch crew tomorrow. But Robin, I thought me and Robin was gonna be chill this week. I was like, oh wow, she's really not saying a lot. This could be
Right,
this could
right.
be this could be the week that I don't cuss Robin out. No.
Wrong.
No,
Wrong. Yeah.
incorrect. Incorrect. She sat up there and she was like, our marriage, our wedding, it wasn't about me and Kody. It was about celebrating a marriage.
Right. It was about
Be-
everybody else
between
celebrating
who?
marriage.
Who's the marriage between who?
Right. Right.
Who and who? You and Kody. Don't play with me. Don't don't play with me. See, this is why you can't figure out why Janelle owes you money.
Right.
Cause you don't be adding at all.
Well,
At
because
all.
even with that, wasn't there a point, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a
Mhm.
point when they were about to get married where she had taken the wives out to go dress shopping, and then she went out with Kody behind the wives' back, picked a dress, and then when asked about said dress, she said, I wanted to have a special thing with me and Kody because we were getting married. How is that about everybody else?
Because you forget, James, that last season she says, Kody didn't pick my dress.
Right.
We didn't do anything wrong. So you know what? We're the ones who are mathing wrong. Because we didn't
Right.
take calculus. And that's
Right.
why
I
that's why
know.
we're confused. That's you know, I
Damn that
took
memory.
calculus, but it's fine. I took a different kind of calculus. So I'm not
Right.
clearly I'm not mathing. So it's
It's your problem because you remember what happened.
right.
As opposed to listening to what they telling you, you remember it independently what happened because you saw it for yourself and
Right.
you think you know. Like
You know, you know, it don't film. It don't film. I'm just like, wow, it's not even like y'all went back and edited it. So
yeah, they didn't even
but
try. Like what drives me crazy, and this is like even when I deal with people in real life, not just IRL. Um,
right.
is is when you deal with somebody, like I understand that people will lie to you, but when
Mhm.
you lie to me, don't insult my intelligence.
Don't play me like I'm
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, don't say stuff that I know isn't true. And you look me in the face and say it like you can't believe that I would even question
Right.
something so stupid. Like, like who do you think you are?
Someone who's mad at you,
Right?
we have to square up because why are you talking to me like I'm stupid?
Right.
You
When
think
I
I'm dumb, and I don't appreciate that. That I
right,
take offense to.
right. I might not be a genius, but I'm not the stupidest person in the
Right.
world. At least put some effort into your lie. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
That's it.
saying don't lie to me. At least put some effort into it.
Right.
Give me
Right. And
that
don't lie
respect.
about stuff that we got in 4K.
Right, right.
That's you know,
Right. I had 400 people at my wedding, but it wasn't about me. Even though they were celebrating me, it wasn't about me.
it wasn't about me. It was about me. It wasn't about me. It was about the family and my colada ring.
Right.
That's what it was about. It's
And
just
could you
like,
and could you
girl.
imagine the arrogance? The arrogance that 400 people, even though it's your wedding, they're showing up to celebrate you and your union,
Mm-hmm.
and they came at your request, and they're there dancing with you, singing with you, toasting to you, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You look at that situation and say, yeah, but this isn't for me. This is for you. I'm allowing you to celebrate me. I want to take time out of my day to give you the privilege and honor to celebrate me and acknowledge how great I
I'm getting my gift back.
am.
I'm taking it off the table.
Right, right.
Like me and this waffle maker, we're going back to my house. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and you know what I'm gonna eat in the morning? Toast.
100.
I'll
I
eat
ain't even
toast
taking it out
tomorrow.
the box.
Right,
Personally, I like real talk. I don't even like waffles, but I would
right, right,
take that waffle. It would be sitting on my countertop, never get used.
right, right. It'll
Never get
just
used.
it'll
I'll
be
be
an
making
attachment,
pancakes every
or
single
it'll
day.
be in the box in the garage.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be in the box in the garage, but I would take it out and put it on the countertop
Right,
anytime they came over.
right,
So you see, oh, where'd you get that from? It was for you. I
right,
took it
right.
to the wedding, but I took it back because you played in my face. So no.
Like, I wanted one of those. I had it on my gift registry. Oh, you
You
did?
did. You did. You absolutely did. I'm not even gonna play dumb. Like, I know
Right.
you did. I bought it for you. I
Right.
bought it for you. Did you see where it was checked off on the registry? Yeah, I took it back.
It still has a little card on it to
But
Robin. Yeah.
I tape it on the wall, like right above it.
Right.
To Robin from Brittany.
Right. May you eat waffles in good health. Like, oh hell
Mhm.
no. Not
You
today,
play
son.
stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That'll
Right.
teach you. That'll teach you.
Yeah, I just couldn't. What cracks me up is, like I said, the production team never does them any favors
No,
because they didn't have to put her in this episode. But
they did not. They could have kept her completely out.
right,
Or
when they
she
put
could
her,
have
they
just said
roofed her.
not dumb stuff. I was
Right,
like, girl, and I really thought, I was like, oh, she's gonna say something like, it wasn't about me and Cody, it was about the family. And even though I don't believe her, I was gonna go, yes, that's a good answer. Good
right.
answer. Just like Jeopardy. Good answer. We're clapping all along for you. And then you said that nonsense. She said that nonsense. And I was like, okay, well, now I got to cuss.
Yeah, right.
Like, I did so good this episode, and here you come.
Well, I guess they had to couple them off because they showed Cody acting like an ass, so they had to bring Robin in to pair it off.
I
You know,
will say I was very mad that he did not fall in that ice. I was looking forward to it. I was like, if he busts his face in this ice,
yeah,
10 out of 10 episode.
mess up
10
and
out of
chip up
10.
3 of them teeth. Yeah, because like I said, a hard head make a soft ass
A
every time.
soft behind every single
Yeah,
time.
so
Every single time.
I was like,
And
watch you
then,
fall.
right. Last thing, and I'm gonna let you go. Um, Actually, two more quick things. One, Christine, them showing up to that venue to basically put down a deposit and they are not even engaged yet. I was like,
Yeah,
and then the venue lady was just like, yeah, yeah, that's totally cool. Like, that's not strange at all.
right,
No,
right.
don't lie to them people. Do not lie to them people. That is weird.
This has
That is
never
weird.
happened before.
This is 100% not
Yeah,
normal. Y'all need to go back to the drawing board. Get the ring first.
right.
Put down the deposit. And you already want to get. That was the other thing, is I was like, but if you're already planning on getting engaged, just get engaged
Yeah,
and then put
yeah,
down the deposit. Or you could have just kept the fact that you weren't engaged to yourself. Like, that was just unnecessary information that we really didn't need, because all it did was just, I was just like, mm,
Well,
okay.
technically, in my mind,
In my mind.
in my mind, if you are you do what they did, like you said, you guys are engaged.
Hmm.
At this point, if both parties are at the venue planning the wedding, you are engaged.
Hmm.
He just had, I mean, he hasn't done the formality of getting down on one knee or giving you a ring, giving you the hardware. But you guys, for all intents and purposes, you guys are engaged, especially if you're already coming up with a wedding date. Because if
Yes.
you're looking for a place, you're trying to reserve the place. So you're going to have a date. And you already got a guest list together. Come on, people.
You know, it, I just, I don't know. Megan said, someone in here, I think it was Megan, she said that it's Robin math. And that is 100% Robin math. Because no, that is not the order of
Right,
things.
right, right.
And then, very last thing. So, Cody at the end, he was talking about how his whole family fell apart, and how sad he is about it. And
Mm,
again, we talked about next week and calling him a victim, and Robin was in the floor crying. So, okay, fine. But my problem with Cody is, what Cody is talking about is what is fixable. It's
mm,
fixable, and it's also his own doing, because Cody, for whatever reason, for some unknown reason, he just cannot separate his kids from their mothers. And be if he could not take out his frustrations with their moms on his kids,
mm-hmm.
yes, some of the kids probably still wouldn't talk to him. Maddie probably still wouldn't talk to him.
Right.
Because Maddie is just not about the okey doke. So that's done. But the other kids, a lot of the other kids would probably still have relationships with him if he just treated them properly. But when you're being mean and petty and spiteful and cruel because you don't like my mom,
Mm.
I don't. And personally, I'm very protective of my mom. So I don't care. I can be mad at my mom. You can't be mad at my mom.
Right.
And what Cody's doing, like he's not even justified in being angry at any of the other women. So it's just like, ugh, not only are you talking trash about my mom, there's no reason for you to be talking trash about my mom. But now you're treating me like crap because I love my mom.
Right. 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 Yeah, and
That's
it just creates some separation. Like if
yes.
you mad at her, be mad at her. If but it has nothing to do with your kids, like at
Hmm.
all. Has nothing to
Right.
do with your kids.
Right.
You know.
That's why nobody called you on Christmas.
Right.
Because you're an ass. Just point blank period. That's why.
You sitting there with Robin. It's so hard to let this go. Well, blame the guy. Blame the arsonist for burning the house down and complaining he ain't got no place to stay.
You
I'm
know,
just saying, like,
like,
yeah. Let's put it together. Let's math this math together
come
and
on.
figure it out. We could do
Come
it.
on. If Johnny had 2 apples,
Right.
that's what we could be. But
Right.
yeah, the two of them, they are very fit for each other
Right.
because they're both silly, unserious people and completely illogical.
Right. But we can work it out together, but apparently
Right.
not.
Right. How y'all both doing math wrong?
Right.
But y'all go help each other with the homework.
Right. Lizzie B actually had a point too, because she said she said in Cody and Robin's world, 2 + 2 = is Christine's fault.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Christine did it. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, thanks so much for calling in. I'm gonna bounce over to
Yes.
Sarah M. But you
Please
are
do.
amazing per always. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
Great points. Talk to
Bye,
you later.
everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. That was Brittany, not Brittany, y'all. Let me give a real quick shout out to Cindy McKenzie at 689 Super Chat. Okay, love the picture. Cheers, James. Cheers, Cindy. What's up? How you doing? I see you. Thank you so much for the Super Chat. Appreciate you. All right. But thank you so much, Cindy. Appreciate you. All right, we have Sarah M in the house. Guys, I tell you, like Brittany's so right on so many fronts with that. It's just crazy. It's crazy watching this. But ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Sarah M to the floor without further ado. Hey Sarah, how you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So, my family is from Wyoming and is part of a fundamentalist family out there.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually was Googling how far we were from Cody's family, and it's actually pretty close. I thought it was further away, but it's not. It's pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've actually I've been hate watching the show because my family is very messed up, and I don't want to watch it, but I'm trying to figure out why and how, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is my thoughts on Kody right now. I dated a gentleman from Mexico, and he explained to me that you can tell the difference between Mexicans from Mexico and Mexicans who are from America because, okay, I got to say this at first, and then I got to praise your community. Anyways, he said that you can tell when someone is from Mexico because it's almost like the software in their head was installed when they were young, and they are Mexican. And there are people from America who claim to be Mexican, but because they were raised in America, and they're definitely, their DNA is Mexican, but like because they were raised in America, the software in their head is the same as a regular American, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Right.
So anyways, I gotta tell you, I love your community so much. I love you guys. Like, I want to say that I feel like I'm home, but I don't feel worthy because they are so smart. Like, your community is amazing. Like, if you had a get together, like, I feel nervous if I go to like a Lady Gaga concert or whatever, but if I went to meet your community, I would like talk to everybody. I would want to talk to everybody. Like, we might even not even listen to you. We might be hanging out with each other. Like,
Right.
your community is so amazing. Anyway,
Yeah, they're
anyway,
a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun.
there's like everybody that calls in is so smart and everybody has such intelligent things to say. It's so impressive. Anyway, so I've just recently got in contact with my father again. He's like a little bit older than Kody. He came from a huge family in Wyoming. And I think that my father went into the military and Kody went a different way. He went to the clerical side. And oh, Teresa, thank you. I love you, Teresa. Anyway, so my dad, it was weird because like I was raised in the normal Mormon church, but then I would go back home to my aunts and uncles, all 10, 20, 16, 50 of them, because it was a fucking huge family. And like, they'd all be like, that's not the real gospel. They're not teaching you what's real. We're all just, the only reason that we're talking about this is because we don't want to be taken over by the government. And the government isn't, like, it was like, oh, weird conspiracy theory. And like, my mom was like, kind of like a hippie that my dad went out and found and brought back. And she was like, Sarah, don't tell anybody that you're watching Sesame Street. She's like, I wasn't allowed to watch Sesame Street because the reason why is because of there were multicultural people in the Sesame Street.
Right.
But they were like, oh, because you're not. And she's like, your grandma says you're not allowed to watch Sesame Street because there's divorce in Sesame Street. It's like, I could tell that she was lying to me, but I was like, this was like in Wyoming. Like, so I'm 43. So this was like in the 80s. There were like 8 channels on the TV, And so, shit, I wrote it on the hub. Oh, Sonny and Cher. Perfect. So I actually have recently got back in contact with my father, and I asked him tonight about Sonny and Cher.
Right.
And he said, well, which, okay, again, I've been taking all of this in. I guess Cher was 16 and Sonny was like, what, 32 or whatever. Anyways, there was 8 channels on the TV at that time. And so it was like variety shows. It was like Dolly Parton singing. It was like, what's the, okay, I'm thinking about, it's all of the people that are country western singers that just are singing on the show. It was like almost before Johnny Carson. It was almost like in that era. What's the Ring of Fire? What's the Ring of Fire guy?
Oh, Johnny Cash.
Yes, Johnny Cash and his wife were singing, and so they idealized Johnny Cash and his wife, right?
Right.
And so, like, my dad was like, well, Sonny seemed like a super nice guy, and then Cher just out of the blue divorced him. That's what he explained to me tonight.
Right.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, that's super crazy because, like, he's like in his 80s and he's about to die, and I'm trying to not rock the boat. And I'm like, wow. So I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like, some of my friends, like, for no reason think their wives just divorced them out of the blue. And he's like, yeah, it's really sad. And I'm like, okay, got it. Okay. And like, so my dad's been married twice. Like, he kept it all legal, but like, he tells me all the time that he knows in heaven both of his wives are coming back to him, including my mother, who left him after I left. Like, in heaven, he is getting both of his wives back. And I promise you, neither of them want to be with him. Like, they do not want to be with him. But, luckily for him, he gets his wives back in heaven. So, no, but okay. Or I feel like I'm a lot. Am I good so far?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so I'm still trying to keep track of everybody that's been talking about. So triangulation, I don't know if Sarah was talking about triangulation, but like it kind of realized that like it's how Kody was mad at Gabe and all of Janelle's kids, which by the way, my mom is a lot more like Janelle. So like Kody was mad at Janelle's kids, even though they were like basically following the rules. That's the way that my dad was. And he was always mad at me. And I'm like, when I got back in contact with him, he was like, well, you weren't ever able to follow the rules. And I'm like, that's weird. Here's all the rules I followed. And he's like, oh. And then my sister, which the golden child, the Robin, if you would, like she's done a lot of things that I personally wouldn't have done.
Mm.
And it's almost like with the golden child, you give all the good attributes of yourself if you're a narcissist. Not that I'm diagnosing anyone, obviously. And then like the bad child, you give all of the bad things. And in my opinion, side note, it's usually the person that's most willing to cooperate that's the one that's a bad child, and the one that's the most willing to complain is the one that's a good one. Oh no, but they're sad. Like we have to be nice to them. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So I know I've gone on a long time, so I'm just going to say this one thing. And this is based off of a conversation that you guys, I don't even remember, that has been going on this whole time. But my mom did come out because she joined the mainstream Mormon church. Again, she's a lot like Janelle. And she would come to me and tell me that she would choose my father over me. And I'm like, I didn't ask. No one's asking you about that.
Right.
And to this day, not completely sure how she lands on that. But there's definitely a weird charisma. And this is why, again, why Janelle probably says that Kody's charismatic. There's a weird need for the women to go for the men.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I like Aspen, like Logan, I raised the kids. So I'm like, once I left the home, they couldn't keep it together. There weren't additional wives. I was the wife. Right. I was the oldest child. I was the wife. And as soon as I left and I was like, bye, they couldn't keep it together. They got a divorce. They got in a fight. They hated each other. And because they wanted to keep it legal, I guess, like they should have just gone out and found another wife. Maybe that would have made my life easier. I don't know. But yeah.
Wow. Hey, did you ever think of doing the polygamous thing? Just curious. I mean, obviously you don't have to answer.
No, that's a fair question. So I have been in open relationships because it's easier to not deal with a man, but that's because I was taught that a man is a lot of work.
Right. Okay. And so you guys are brought up thinking that men are a lot of work. So it's a benefit that he's not around.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. I mean, that would make sense. That would be the part of the indoctrination. So you wouldn't question when he doesn't show up anymore.
Oh yeah, no, it was a blessing when he wasn't around. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have a lot of polygamous families around you? Was that something that was normalized, or was it like your family was by itself?
So the way our family was structured, it was just a lot of kids. Like,
okay.
It was more like the Duggars. But it was just like the men were just lucky that their women had that many children. But I'm unsure. Like, it was always like the women wondered what the men were doing when they weren't around, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, and maybe you know, maybe you don't, like in these polygamous communities, is there do you guys have a fidelity issue as far as the men is concerned? Is that never something that you guys worry about? Like, it just occurred to me that you would think, because the odd part is that you would think with them having the access to additional wives that there would be no need for men to go out and do things, you know, on an underhanded level where they're cheating or whatever the case may be, more traditional cheating. But
Well,
is that a thing?
so basically, once you turn a blind eye, you keep turning a blind eye. And that's
Oh,
just based on from where I'm at and what I've been seeing. Like my mom, like she always thought that my dad might have other children. But as long as she got the attention that she wanted and needed, that was fine. So it's almost like that boys or will be boys type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. I want you to call back, though. I want you to call back.
Yeah, I think we got more to talk about.
10 more questions, but thank you so much for calling in. I have to jump over to it's Bedlam, but I appreciate you.
Thank you, James.
All right, have a great night.
Thank you, chat. I love you guys.
All right, they love you back. I've seen some of the messages. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye. All right, coming up to the stage next, we have we have It's Bedlam. How you doing?
Hi, James.
How's everything?
It's good. I'm on my webcam, but I wanted to show myself since I get to see you all the time. I watch everything you post, and I just love how you evolved. And I've invested so much time in this show in the last 3 years.
Awesome.
It's my comfort show.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
So I'm watching this episode. I think one of the funniest things is when Kody said that him and Meri were getting along better than they have in the last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think the reason why they're getting along is because he was finally honest.
Right.
And if he would just be honest with the rest of his family, he'd probably get along with them too.
Right. It would go a long way, for sure.
It would go a long way. That's all anybody's asking for.
Right.
And then with Christine and the PDA, it's just such a teenage affection, and I get it. Right. But also have some couth, Christine. Like, no kid wants to see their mom make out or anyone make out. Like, when I would watch movies with my parents and people would be making out in the movie, it was so, like, uncomfortable.
Right. No, I feel you. You know, and it's one of the weird things, too, is that we also have to keep in mind, before we give too much criticism to the kids for kind of putting a little cold water on the whole deal, that they're not used to seeing this. This is something that, you know, it's not just the fact that it's their mom, but they're not used to seeing their mom in this position because Kody wasn't coming over being that affectionate with her. So this is still new to them, too. So it's like, as a person who, you know, my parents were together, you know, well before I was born. So by the time I came around, they had already been together, they, you know, monogamous relationship, whatever. So it wasn't out of pocket for me to see them be affectionate. But, you know, like for them to kind of claw at each other.
And it's a whole shift. Like I think Sarah had made a video, and these kids had been through a traumatic experience to basically have their dad say, F them, I only care about this. Like, ouch. If my dad said that, that would break my heart, you know? Let's have the whole, you know, family change and all that. But Kody did say something surprisingly that was really honest the last episode. And he said that Christine did him a favor by having the courage to finally leave.
Mm-hmm.
That was his one moment of truth. If he could do that and spread that around everything, it would be better. And then the other point is Meri, I think their scenes are nonsense, but just for the reason of production, Meri and Kody kind of need each other right now because they're not connected to none of the rest of the cast.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because I was saying the same thing. Like Meri and Kody, between Meri, Kody, and even Robin, like they're in trouble because Christine and Janelle can always link to each other. And ironically, when Kody said, you know, Christine has all the kids, he's not wrong. So
he's not wrong.
Yeah, of the 18 kids, like she has the clean 13 of them.
She got the whole cast. He only got one, McKelty. He's out.
Right.
Even McKelty's twins ain't messing with him. She gave him the fist bump. Like,
right. And even that was kind of hesitant. Yeah.
She's like, you're right. McKelty's like, fist bump? She's like, okay.
The 2 knuckles, but you ain't getting the whole 4,
Right, I ain't coming over there.
Right. We're not connecting 4 on this one. We doing Jenga.
Yes. So they need each other. So that, but I do think Christine and Janelle could have a show because they have the whole family and there's a big story in that.
Right.
I did make some notes though. I think though I will give Kody credit because he was raised in the doctrine of polygamy or Mormonism, which because of the show I've dived into Mormonism, and I think Sarah was touching on that when she was talking about the Mexicans. Mormonisms have this whole superiority complex that they've woven into biblical texts. Like,
yes, yeah,
it's just ridiculous. So I can see why the men have big egos and need to feel validated by wives and children,
right?
Because their whole dogma and the doctrine of it is just really ego based.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in a religion that essentially says you're a god as a man. So, I mean, it's kind of hard for you to have a small ego or a small view of yourself when you're told that
you're going to be a god and you're going to get your own planet when you go to heaven, and everybody's going to love you even if you treated them like caca on earth. Like that's.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, so, and I think that's part of the expectation that he has, because that's one of the videos that I wanted to do. I've been kind of kicking around since last week, is talking about like the idea of the inherent polygamy and privilege that's involved with being a man in this type of faith or this institution. Because you have a position where even though Kody sits there and says like, oh, I don't believe in polygamy. I never said that. Or not polygamy, patriarchy. I don't believe in patriarchy because I just said that when I was
cut to a clip where he said, I'm going to bring the patriarchy.
Right. But everything that you do, all your expectations is a direct result and symptom of your patriarchal beliefs. Everything that you do, the fact that you think you could tell a woman, I don't want to be with you. I'm not going to come over your house to see you. I don't want to lay with you in a physical manner, be with you. I don't want to do that. But then I'm mad that you don't want to be there when I come over. I tell you, and I'm mad that you go. Like, what?
Right. Why did you leave? I only told you I never loved you and I didn't think you were exciting. You're boring. You bored me the whole 25 years. I just thought you were uninteresting. Why are you
terrible? What the problem is? Like, what? What are you talking about? So yeah, I totally agree.
And then the last thing I wanted to say is that Kody buying another house, and then when he said to McKelty, all the kids could come there. You guys could stay there forever, for weeks. It's just him doing the same thing that he's always done. Again, Kody, be honest and say that you want a new house because you don't want to live in the house that that all the wives invested in. That's the thing.
Right.
That's, bigger house, and he don't want them to be able to say ish about the fact that, they bought that house for them. They did buy that house for them.
Yeah, but something occurred to me when you're just saying that there is a possibility that the reason why he bought that house is because he ran that last one down. Because he's good at, creating these new relationships, kind of like wives. You're good at collecting wives, but you're horrible at maintaining your relationships. So he got the big house that they wanted. They had to have it. They got it, the little McMansion. They got that house, but they didn't put any money into investing into maintaining the home. And then when the home fell apart, now all of a sudden he has to go out and get a new house to live in. And so you're always chasing that bigger, newer thing. But and it's all I'm sorry, but it all comes down to like the materialism of it too. Is that you're so worried about having a house that you've never thought of or considered actually building a home that you can put your family in, a home that you can raise your kids in, and a home
build a home
for your life. Yeah.
And them little girls, Robin's girls, it's going to be interesting when they go to college and they can go ahead and access all this information on themselves and put 2 and 2 together and realize
Right.
that their parents, you know,
put a number on them. Yeah.
Put a number on them. When they see all the kids saying, I miss them and I want to reach out to them, like, how you going to dispute that?
Right. That's going to hurt.
And then they get to live with Big Bad Kody every day and his ego, so they already got a hunch. They going to put it together.
Right. Oh, this is what they talk about. Yeah. This is what they mean. He's kind of nasty, you know?
Yeah. But that's all I had to say, and thank you for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. Those are great points. I appreciate it. You gave me some things to think about. And you might see some of these topics in the next couple videos.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking, and you'll see my comment.
All right, awesome. I'll be looking for it.
All right.
You have a great night. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. That's awesome. She was great. Yeah, guys. See, look, when we get down to it, push them down and shove. There's a lot of things that we could talk about with regard to sister wives. We could talk about like some of the relationships, but you know, it's easy to look at other people's front yards and not take care of our own. So I like to try to be, sometimes I'm a little more general with some of the issues just for that reason. So that we can try to apply them to our own personal relationships and some of the relationships of people around us so that we can help those folks out if they start to experience similar problems. But we have one more call that I'll let her come back so we could wish you guys a good night, because I don't want to get too long in the tooth. I got to get up crazy early tomorrow, do a whole bunch of stuff, you know, per usual. But we're definitely going to have some videos this week. Because last week I was lacking a little bit because I had some crazy stuff going on. But to hell with it, we're going to clear the decks. We're going to put some good stuff in. Per Lizzie B, make sure you remember to hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we had some great calls tonight. Great calls tonight. A lot of interesting topics being discussed. And let me just make sure I hit everything I wanted to hit. Oh, so we'll bring Betty in, give her a couple minutes, and then we're going to close it out for the night. But thank you guys. Hey, what's going on?
Must I be quick, girl? Oh, sorry. When I say that, it's just my term of affection.
I got you.
If you're a man, woman, child, it's going to be girl, honey, baby, sweetie.
Hey, I'm secure enough. I can handle most things, so it's fine.
Are you sure, girl? Let's get you some eyelashes. No, I real quick, Sarah M. Collective hug from the community. I had to step out and step back in when all I heard was the part about the mama. That broke my heart. I mean, like as a mother, I'm sorry, my children come first, and my oldest is 38, but I'll run you over with a Mack truck if you mess with him. Let me tell you. But everybody's poo-pooing on the idea of this PDA. I'm not going. My daughter's name is Sarah, but she doesn't watch this, so I'm good because she won't kill me if I tell her a little story. If she does, too bad. I'm too far away. But with the PDA, it's good for children to see the affection, and they'll feel safe because. True story. Not even gonna lie. I was embarrassed. She was embarrassed, but. I walked in, she was making out. I mean, getting hot and heavy with her boyfriend. She thought I was going to be at work all night. I got out early, came in. I'm like, oh, Lord, the things I saw made my blush run red. Redder than my hair was at the time when I had natural hair red. But it gave her the confidence knowing, because she had seen me and her father express love and affection, that we could have an honest conversation and that I wasn't angry. That I understood it, and we sat down and was like, you know, you're 19 years old, you're gonna have these feelings.
Right.
My most important thing is that you're on birth control, number one. I don't want you to jump in too hot and heavy, but it happens. You know, but even with truly seeing something that's normal.
Right.
That's the way a relationship should be. I've been married almost 40 years. I go to bed not angry. Don't mean I don't call him a asshole every now and again. You know, I love you, asshole. But the PDA, I mean, I don't understand the whole poo-poo idea on it. It's like really not the whole, I mean, really they're holding hands and doing a little smooching. It's not like they're doing a striptease.
Right, right.
So
Well,
I
I
mean,
think it's just more or less. It's not that it's bad. It might just be off-putting because one, I think it's off-putting for some of the fans because this entire time we haven't really seen any PDA on the show whatsoever. You know what I mean?
no, we
The
haven't.
closest, yeah, the closest we came to it was when Christine, ironically, was in the hospital having Truly, and Kody snuck over to Robin's house to get some schmecking on the front porch. You know,
Yeah,
that was kind of the closest we came to
but
it.
I mean,
I don't
I'm
think
like,
it's necessarily bad because at the end of the day, look, Christine is a grown ass woman. She's healthy. You
have you
know, she
seen
has
50 Shades of
needs.
Grey?
Yeah, she gonna be
I
doing
mean,
things. She gonna be doing some things. You
I'm
know,
just, I'm not a prude, and I'm certainly not a pilgrim.
right?
So, you know, I tease my husband all the time. I'm like, honey, at this age, please, you gonna need more than some Viagra to get me interested to come upstairs. My back might hurt by the time I get there. But I mean, most the demographic of the people watching that, they've seen the 50 Shades of Grey, which I
Mhm.
mean, come on, you're talking about even bondage there. It's a little bit of hugging, a little bit of smooching. That is
Mm.
nothing.
Right.
But I do think it opens up truly, or it really even her older children to see what a loving relationship should be.
Right.
The give and the take and the hard times, small time. You go through the ups, you go through the downs. I mean, let me tell you, 40 years of marriage, I don't know how long you've been married. You're way younger than me,
Mhm.
but you go through building your life. Sometimes you have to start over, you rebuild your life. That
Right.
10-year period when you hit that marriage, told my kids, when you hit that 10 years, it's hard. You're developing. I was married at 18. My husband was
Mhm.
19. 10 years in, you're becoming different people.
Right. Right.
You have different interests, and you have to learn that it's okay to be different. So
Mm.
my interest, the only show I watch as far as reality TV is really Sister Wives. Other than that, I watch history. I listen to audiobooks. I
Mhm.
garden. My husband, on the other hand, loves to watch some stupid ass shit that I don't like. So, he has his TV upstairs. I have mine downstairs. We come together. I go with him
Right.
to the doctor's appointment. Right now, I go up and I make sure I take care of whatever he needs me to take care of for him personally. But
Mhm.
that's what comes with the hard parts of marriage.
Right.
And maybe
Right.
they'll see that they're going to go through the highs, they're going to go through the lows, you're going to go through ups and downs and peaks and valleys, that you just hold hands and you go through it.
Right. Right. Well, I
But
think
if they
too
can
it's
see somebody do it with loving and affection, nothing better.
right. But I think if anything, it's on the reverse side of that. It's actually sad that this is the first time that they saw their mother in a loving relationship. Like I mean, because it's so much is put on the fact that Christine is having these like PDAs and affectionate relationships or whatever, and how uncomfortable the kids may be. But if we really drill down into it, it should actually be more sad that this is the first time after Aspen, I think, is almost 30. And this is the first time she's seen her mom in a physical relationship with somebody who is actually enjoying her company, actually enjoying the time they spend with her, actually attracted to her, sexually attracted to her. And not just like sexually attracted to her in the sense of like, hey, you're my Tuesday night, but genuinely attracted to her. Like, come get it attracted to her. So in that
Better late
respect,
than
it's kind
never.
of sad. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, they've not seen it. It's unusual, and I'm sure it's like off-putting to them because it's not something they're used to seeing.
Right.
But even like, oh, Isabel, she's young enough to understand. I mean, like, she uncomfortable with it, yes, because it's not something she's used to.
Right.
But it kind of gives uh, Lord, my mind went blank. But like a foundation of what she sees as a healthy relationship,
Right.
as to what she should expect from somebody.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Well, I mean, I
moving
think
forward
that
in life. I mean, like, she's got a lot of years. I mean, and people talking about the hurry up and, oh my God, it went so fast. Well, honey, when you hit those 50s, if you're lucky, you have a good 30 years.
right.
If you're lucky and you're fortunate and your health is good. then you have maybe you don't have a lifetime anymore.
Right. Well, because I think also it's just it's kind of cool from the respect of with Truly, this is the first time that she's in a situation where she, like I said, the comfort and security of having a person who is there all the time. You know, having because usually it was just her mom was there, maybe Janelle or Meri, and then she see her dad every once in a while when he wasn't with another wife or dealing with other kids. With David, on the other hand, she's getting more of that consistent partner where she sees like they're in there doing it day in, day out as they start to experience issues and problems in their relationship, as every relationship has. She's going to see them work it out as opposed to they have a problem and he goes off to another wife's house and spend 3 or 4 days and then come back and expect the problem to self-resolve. Like, so she's actually going to see them working through things. And that gives her tools later on in life when she gets into relationships and she has problems or difficulty, she can tap back into those tools that she saw her mom utilize when she was in her relationship. Whereas she didn't necessarily have those tools before because Kody wasn't dealing with problems. You fix it. He have a problem, you fix it. I'm going to go it over Janelle's house, and when I get back, I expect the problem to be resolved. You just let me know what you figured out. And that was that. So.
Well, yeah, Ed, I mean, I can't remember whether it was on like a little snippet on the show or not. Can't remember. So it was like, even it's a simple conversation of like how Christine, when she was not with Kody, they would have movie night, popcorn for dinner if they wanted. But then when he came over, something entirely different was expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants to live their life that way? I mean, I could not begin to imagine because tonight I sure didn't feel like cooking. So guess what they got? They got some Burger King.
Right.
Now tomorrow I'll make my greens, but tonight I didn't feel like doing it. I'm like, y'all can have some Burger King, or you better make a peanut butter sandwich, sucker. I'm not cooking. No, I mean, you best figure it out. But now, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love to cook, and I don't mean it that way.
No, I get you. I got you.
But we're at that point. But I mean, we did have a rough patch at 10 years, and that's what I tell my kids now. I'm like, you're going to hit a rough patch 10, 15 years in. When you start growing and you're grow together as much as you can, but also really and truly for any married couple, I always say to appreciate that you're going to be different people. You're going to have different interests, and that's okay.
Right.
As long as you're not looking for interest to satisfy you outside of the marriage. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Of course, I mean, I always told my husband he could if he took all the kids. Tessie Marie. Sorry, my little dog. Like, if he went, he had to take them kids because, girl, let me tell you, you can find somebody who's going to take on 4 children and do that. Right. Let me be single.
Right.
It was not even fun. Temper tantrums. That was always our running joke that some people didn't give him. Like, I said he could leave, but he's taking them children with him. I mean, like, I do polygamy right now because there wouldn't be nothing else involved. But like, please get another wife. That way, I don't have to do no housework, no cooking. I'm the first wife, and I get to sit back and just chillax.
Yeah, right. Cash checks. That's what you get to do. Cash checks.
Heck yeah, girl! I'd do it now in a heartbeat. But that's what I say. Same thing. Like, if I was younger, I'd have done been hitting that pole in a heartbeat.
So running that track.
Yeah, but right now it'd be more like grandma on wheels. So, I get some nickels.
So it's not as exciting, right?
Not anymore because the much my leg go up, I can't get her down. Be like, oops, I'm stuck. No, it's not. Somebody help me, seriously. So, like, I have a weird sense of humor. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I'm right with you. But I appreciate you calling in again. Thank you so much.
Oh, baby, you're what? I love talking to y'all. You have a wonderful community, seriously.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
And for, like I said, the Sarah M, I caught the tail end of it, but I just want to give her a collective hug from the community and say, that just no mother would ever put their husband ahead of their child.
Right.
Like I said, I'm sorry, but even at my age,
they shouldn't even be a choice.
Kids come first.
Yeah, she
And my
gonna get
oldest
to
is 38, and I will run a Mack truck over you if I had to get to him.
it. Right. But
I
thank you
just,
so much. You have a great night.
you too, sweetie, and I do appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
No problem. Thanks for calling back.
You have a wonderful evening, and I'll
You too.
catch you tomorrow.
All right. See
All
you
right, baby.
later. Bye.
Night, night.
All right. Got Betty dropping some gems. Yeah, like she said, like with Sarah, that was a rough piece. That was a rough piece. But I will say this. Like I think that people will find strength in sometimes in their circumstances, their situations. Uh Sarah came in, she dropped some good that we had a good conversation. I look forward to talking to her in the future. Like I think that she provides the community with a lot of insight into life and lifestyle and life experiences that many of us are not familiar with. So it's always interesting. Of course, I might have some quirky questions like, oh, what is infidelity? Like I never really thought about it, but it's just something that ran across my mind. So it's always nice to have that resource. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the fact that as mentioned earlier by so many folks, that you guys are an open community, that you guys are open, not only open, but you're welcoming and you're intelligent. You provide excellent commentary. You keep everybody on their toes. You keep me on my toes. I'll be reading through the comment sections. I appreciate you guys. And here's the thing, and this is one of the staples of the channel because I'm one of the Gen X guys. I'm one of the old guys. Like I have a motto here where I don't necessarily want to get on and have arguments or debates, but I do want to have conversations and discussions. So I like the fact that we have a community where people can feel comfortable with being able to come in and sharing their ideas, their observations, their thoughts on situations that occur on sister wives and how it implies or the further implications to how this reality show mirrors real life and how we could take the lessons that we've learned from some of the things that we've seen on screen and apply it to our own situations, or like I said earlier, help other people who may be going through similar issues or circumstances or situations, help them get through it in their daily life. So I appreciate you guys keeping everything positive. As always, you never know who you're talking to, and you might be the person that gives that person, that complete stranger, that message that they may need to hear in order to get them through the day. So I appreciate you guys being super positive. I also want to, before I go, I did see somebody drop something for me. Gigi, she dropped something in. Gigi with the $5 super chat. Is it bad that we have more insight into Cody's life than he does? Right. Kody, if I can sit down and talk to you, this is what I would tell you. What does this say about us? LOL. It just means that we're extremely we're extremely observant and we have strong perspectives, Gigi. That's what I like to say. It's not that I'm a nosy person, it's just that I like to help folks. But thank you so much for the super chat. Let me give you a little something, Gigi, because you out this world. All right. And so I want to give a huge shout out to Lizzie B. We talk so much about the community and how everybody is like super chill in the chat and in the comment section. I got to tell you, I couldn't do it by myself. In fact, I couldn't do it at all. So Lizzie B is a huge help to me coming through and moderating for me. So I really appreciate you, Lizzie B. And I appreciate everybody, like I said, being in the chat, being super cool, putting down the good vibes, good messages, letting everybody come in. Because if you're on YouTube and you're taking time watching these videos, you should not be watching these videos and feel stressed. You should not be upset when you're watching these videos. So hopefully you come in, you have a good time, you live, you laugh, you love, you share, you talk, and you experience the community. That's what I like. That's what I'm about. So hopefully we can keep those good vibes going. If you guys want to see me tomorrow, I'll be on with Sarah Howe from Reality Squad. We'll be doing the Sister Lives Monday. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check out my videos. I'm going to be dropping videos all week. I have to carve out some time to start hammering some videos out. I'm to be honest with you, I'm going to really try to put them out every day this week. I might even, depending on how it goes and what the numbers are looking like and how much interest I have, I might even put out maybe 2 on a couple of days. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Check them out, watch them, share them, comment down below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up on this video on the live. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality. And guess what, y'all? I'm out of y'all. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me give you guys all something. This is include Lizzie B and all the chat. This is for you. All right. So I am out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you have a great night. If I catch up with you tomorrow, see you tomorrow. And if you're going to chill for the rest of the week, that's cool too. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of others around you, take care of your family, take care of yourself, keep things positive and keep things moving in a positive motion. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality. Guess what, y'all? This time I'm serious. I'm out.